What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 19 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, we continue making our way, well, in pretty much every direction. Balthazar Gelt has defeated Wurzag, though some Tzeentch shenanigans made us for some weird battles, and speaking of weird battles and Tzeentch shenanigans, and again, so the same thing happened to the, well, not quite the same thing, but another issue happened to Boris Todbringer's much awaited debut. Not to worry, though, he is closing in on Mr. Wulfric the Wanderer, and I'm sure they will have a proper contest in between the two. Otherwise, we have to still move a fair few units or armies or whatever in this particular turn, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, alright, we certainly do. And, well, let's get started on that. Alrighty, now, Waldemar Biber, you are definitely still moving. Let's grab... Alright, yeah, let's pick up this mysterious sign. This isn't an island. Is it just a little water wheel in there? Yeah. Alrighty, shiny boots and fresh. Well, now mushrooms too will help us with the auto resolves. Hey, the curse of cannibalism. Very nice. As odd as it may seem to be happy about curse of cannibalism. But anyway, you're gonna move over here, gonna grab this island, and you may as well go up the coastline. Maybe send another army to the Albion Bowl to help Wulfric and possibly Stefan von Kessel. And besides, on the way, we can stop on by and pay a little visit to the Drowned of the Vampire Coast. Make sure that Bretonnia is free to last. Otherwise, who else needs to move this time around? Theodric von Bluten, you were headed down to Kypros, which you may have to besiege.
Into battle.
And hello, what do we have here? So the vampire... Ooh, yes, okay, so I'm willing to bet these guys will fight us in the field, and I'd rather have this fight in the field, especially since this is our weakest army, our sort of basic Imperial army, and it is fun. Do have to get them some Empire captains, though. That's definitely the case. Otherwise, I mean, there's not enough armor on the regular swords to be relying on. You've got a couple of levels on you as well, so I guess we'll keep moving through this. So go for Deadly Blade and into Foe Seeker, Celestial Wizard. What are you missing? Okay, we have Further Study. We could go through towards Potent. Well, let's get 1 point in Power Sap, at least for the Winds of Magic Power Reserve capacity. Though you are getting pretty point hungry. You're at level 34. You may not have enough to go through all of them. But it does seem to be the case with all the wizards, so I know. It makes sense. I kind of like it that way when there's... when you can't get everything. Feels more appropriate. Anyway, you, Elspeth, are going to move right here. You're going to reinforce Simon Pfeiffer's attack on Brasov, and then we will move you out towards capturing some of the Orky territories as we attempt to continue returning Karazakarak to its rightful owners. Let's quick save this. I fear for the war wagons. Please don't do this, game. Don't screw the war wagons. Okay, didn't screw the war wagons. For some reason, it did take half of the HP off Stormhammer, and I don't see that entire army really damaging that tank significantly, so how dare you. Another Potion of Farsight, a Barded Warhorse for somebody, and the province is secured. Lovely. Now let's go for the Council of Burgomeisters. Let's also go for the Grazing Pastures, and, I mean, so far we've been building defenses in these locations. And that may still be the case. I will have to think about it. Either way, you're done. You were a request for aid army. You're no longer needed, and Elspeth, you can move into march stance, and then, well, keep on marching. You're going to hit up Zenris, assuming it doesn't fall to rebellion, but either way, we need to transfer these to the dwarfs in order to transfer them Ulfraya, most likely, in order to then transfer them Karazakarak, in order to then try to get Ulfraya back. It's going to be a whole thing, but, well... Somebody's got to reclaim the realms, and if it's not Thorgrim, I guess we got to help him out. Emil von Corden, I see Grom the Punch has landed right beside you, but he's not worth fighting, so you're just going to auto-resolve him to death. Oh, please don't tell me he's going to run around this. Don't do it. Don't do it, Grommy. Grommy, please. And now we can't catch him. That is... And wow, that took all of our movement range to move from here to here? Good lord. Alrighty, well, we'll chase him down after. We're headed to Workamont. That hasn't changed. Man, that was a really annoying move, wasn't it? Oh well, what can you do? Maybe I should put you into channeling stance. Anyway, let's see who else needs to move. Okay, Philip Ivan, you're still holding on to those troops, though I do have some uses for at least the halberdiers. You know what? I think you can actually start moving southward now. Go this way. You're going to meet up with some of these guys. I'm going to swap some troops around. And then Valmir von Rakov, what do you do again? Oh yeah, you're logistically minded. Yeah, you're staying here for the bonus control. You know what? I think... Okay, you have armor pedigree, eh? I think I have some other uses for you guys. You know what? Transfer these stubborn bulls to these guys for now. I have some ideas. And then you are currently the Ostland... Well, you know what? Stay here. I might reset you in a little bit. We have so many Crusader armies to build, so we gotta get on that, and that would put them at least a little bit closer to the action where they want to be. Did I keep this Outrider here for a reason? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Alright, let's pop out this Outrider. As in delete it. Leopold, you were here mostly to deliver these things, right? You have Tactician. You, Mr. Troop Train, assuming that another Lord is not now available that we want. Ingenious and Optical Specialist. No, still not the ones we want. But nonetheless, you're going to grab these guys. Like so. No mage as yet. We'll probably send one your way, though we have several armies without mages now, and they're still relatively okay. Move here, grab these islands, and then move onward and upward towards the... I guess you can also hit the Vampire Coast, but then we'll see whether you want to fight Norskins, you want to fight Dark Elves, you want to fight Chaos, you want to fight, you know, more Chaos and more Dark Elves. There's options. Anyway, Leopold, you will probably be delivering some troops, so I'd like you to head down this way. Like so. Frankly, you're probably costing a lot while you're on that big old Imperial Griffin, aren't you? I'm gonna get him off it as soon as he stops moving. And yes, I am still nickel and diming. It may be, we may be making 50,000 gold per turn, but again, if every single tier 5 settlement costs like 10,000 gold, it's really not that much. Anyway, Wolfric, you're fine. Marius Lightdorf, yes, you are headed to help out against the rats here, so keep moving this way. And try to knock them out. We'll have the ogres being constructed or recruited for you by the time you get back for when we prepare you to have a proper army. Since we've decided to keep you around as an actual army commander. Alrighty, Balthazar, you, having defeated Mr. Wurzag, will now defeat the remnants of the enemies at Agranti Mingol. I think you can auto-resolve. A little bit of damage, but nothing to be concerned about, and then we will... we should heal up, so we'll just take the money. Even if it ain't much, and then capture Grand Team Goal after... Okay, I was about to say after the Tech Thief moves, but the Tech Thief has moved. Hey, a Potion of Toughness. Nice find, though. Alright, grab this, and we will return it to the Kislevites. With, I guess, a military structure there. Actually, you know what? Let them build whatever structure they want there. Huh, you know what? How long would it take to build... 8 turns? Yeah, don't bother building anything. Never mind. Never mind. Wow. I find it interesting that the Disciples of the Maw Ogre Kingdoms like us right now. Well, they won't like us much, because we are in a military alliance with those lizards. I wonder how that will impact Hemray, because Hemray is allied with the... Who are Disciples of the Maw fighting? Lizards, Decadent Host, and Servants of Myrmidus. I don't know who those guys are, but... and they're allied with Skaven. Yeah, that's kind of neat. You gotta like the ogres as being neutral factions because they always have some wacky allies. Anyway, Arch Recruiter Hartman, you are going to be transferring these guys to whoever we decide to make into Kurt Helborg. Although I suppose we could start putting them into position. I'll give them a turn. We'll figure it out afterwards. Aldebrand Ludenhoff, I think we just keep you here for now in case you need to recruit. Anybody else need to move, or are we ready to end the turn? Oh, Humphrey, yes. You're going to hit up Deravin Libra. And I'm going to hope the auto-resolve doesn't kill those war... Okay, it shouldn't. I'm just looking at the small amount of troops left. There we go. Another territory captured in Bretonia. Let's upgrade you immediately, and let's get some military structures there, hoping to make them worth a decent amount. Don't bother with the Opal Amulet. We'll give you something a little bit more your speed. The Drowned... Hey! Why was that mission successful? Oh, I guess while it lists the Drowned, it also counts any rebel faction, doesn't it? I think I've encountered that before, which I guess works out well for us because we weren't going to hit up the drowned for a fair bit. Anyway, Valmir, I already looked at you, so Nicholas Immelschilder, you're waiting for Wolfheart, and there we go, we've reached the end of the line. Nobody else left to recruit, I take it? I'm going to take to recruit a Sigmar Disciple, just out of curiosity. It's still 4 turns. Oh wow, 3,000 gold, eh? Wait, how much would it cost you to do it? Sigmarite Disciple? 2,500. I don't really want to cancel it, but it would be nice if we could transfer a couple of Sigmarite Disciples to Von Kessel as soon as he arrives. I certainly wouldn't mind that. Maybe we'll use some of our money next turn to start them up, and then, you know, use the conscription thing to speed them up a little bit. Could be the thing to do. And we shall see. I also have to have some nice different faction contingents in that particular army. Some dwarf units, some Bretonnian units, some wood elf units. I gotta double check if I have the mod up and running that gives us more than 4. I don't think I do, but I definitely don't like that limitation, so we'll definitely do that, especially with the Empire, and especially since we're gonna have an army that's like lots and lots of ogres and another army that's, well, several armies that's lots of Bretonnians. But anyway, I digress. Let's go to the next turn. Hey, as expected, the Yellow Eye will indeed sally out and attack Theodric. I'm happy about that, especially because this is always a pretty fun army to watch fight with all of the basic units therein. Otherwise, I think we're ready to go. Go. Alrighty, simple and to the point. For the Empire indeed. For the Empire, we will hold this hill against the orcs that attempt to move towards it. It's a pretty solid position, especially with the elevation offering the advantage for the various ranks of gunners to fire down on the enemy below, hopefully over each other's heads. Frankly, I probably should have spread them out a little bit more, as in maybe move the melee line down even further and put a little bit more distance over these guys, especially as it would have given less likelihood for them blocking each other up, but we'll see. Anyway, looks like the first of the enemies are moving into range, and unfortunately for the enemy, it'll be the trolls. I do believe that's the Hochland long rifles firing away. Obviously a little bit further than the range of the handgunners and the Nuln Ironsides right in front of them. And let's see how the trolls are doing. Lost about half of their HP so far, and several of their number, and they're going to keep losing them. Oh, even some mortar shells will crash down amongst them as well. Not that that's going to be that significant. Our wizard's going to fly over and pop off a chain lightning in the middle of the enemy units, primarily looking to try to kill off as many orc error boys as possible, as I'd wager they're going to be the major threat here. Spider Rider's going to move on in, and ooh, this is definitely why you want to tell your mortar who specifically to target, otherwise it will target the least convenient unit for the player, or the most inconvenient unit, and do a little splash damage to your own troops. But what can you do? Otherwise, the guns keep on thundering away as the enemy continues to draw close, and it looks like the bounce power is already at about 70% in our favor. Looking pretty good so far. This may not technically be a gunnery army, or at least it wasn't envisioned as such, but does have a fair few guns available. And it's pretty good. Once again, we may make some adjustments as needed. Anyway, the swordsmen are out front, and it looks like the enemy trolls, biggins, and whatever else will at last crash into them. Our great swords are holding the line in the trees to prevent the boar boys and the pump wagons moving through them. I figured that we should probably have the great swords in the tree line to fight the boar boys and stuff, as the great swords here won't have range support fire like our other units do. Our lord comes down as well, trying to go after some of those trolls. I mean, we can send them running away. They cause fear, I believe, so they can, I believe, be terrified away. They're not immune to psychology, and they have poor leadership to that, so lovely. Other than that, the bounce power, oh, actually still hovering at about 70% in our favor, but I don't imagine it will be that low, such as it is, for that much longer. Curse of the Midnight Wind debuffs the enemies considerably. 31-31 melee attack and defenses lost. The mortar shells continue coming down on the enemy, though I do note that, yeah, looks like our units have a difficult time firing at the orcs that are currently fighting our main line. Probably should have moved them further. Not a big deal, though. We still have a few gaps in the line, like here where the Null Ironsides will take advantage. I like the yellow plumes with the red, matches some of their armor as well. Anyway, looks like the Boar Boys are not finding any purchase, perhaps surprisingly against the Swordsmen, and we're going to even buff up their melee defense with a nice harmonic convergence, making these guys tankier than Imperial Foot, at least while the spell is running. And it's nice to see some good old-fashioned Imperial swords. If we can, I don't know if we can, but if we can build Swords of Ulrich, I'll pop the 2 Swords of Ulrich in this army, or possibly 3, to join these swordsmen instead of our great swords here. And just because. Actually, now that I think about it, we could also pop Sigmar's Sons in here, which is an elite swordsman unit. Since we're using swordsmen here, it could certainly be a sword-tastic sort of army, instead of relying on great swords. Admittedly, we have great swords in 2 armies right now? Karl's and von Kessel's, and von Kessel's isn't really active yet. So frankly, we could probably use a few more great swords in locations. I've been I've been using halberdiers and Free Company militia a lot. Anyway, looks like these swords are enough. You don't need Free Company, and you don't, well, we do have some Free Company here, but you don't need halberds, and the swords will do. Tier 1 or not, as they hold off the enemy and the enemy shatters and the battle is ours. Damage to us is relatively minimal. A couple of these swordsmen did take damage, but as we can see, the model losses aren't that severe, so they should recover pretty darn nicely. Alright, there we go. Enemy killed in battle, charmed shield for Theodric, and that's fine. Student, great. Another student, great. Scribe for a witch hunter, you can hold on to it for now. And creator, constructor, imperial architect secured. Construction time, minus 25% for all buildings. We've been, well, we've been really wanting that one. Alright, it's a new turn, a new day. Now, before we get everybody moving, what I would like to see is how we're doing. Okay, we got one more turn until we can attempt at least to trade Carrick Gantuk and hopefully acquire a Wusterberg. Now we shall see, I guess. I mean, in theory, they should want the temperate climate that they dislike a lot less than the mountain climate, but yeah. As you can probably guess, and there have been some questions about it in the comments over the, well, actually several episodes, as to what we're going to do with these factions that are occupying technically imperial territories, like the Bugman's Brewery, and then, of course, Laurelorn as well. And we're not going to destroy them. I can't really bring myself to do it. I mean, economically, Bugman's Brewery being in the Empire is a great thing for the Empire, and again, imagine the great grudge the Empire would get out of attacking Bugman's. And anyway, I think we can just leave Bugman's Brewery itself, but then hopefully acquire Wusterberg and Kreutzhofen, and we already have taken Fort Saul for ourselves by trading, so hopefully that works. If we can't get the capital here, we'll just take some territory out of these mountains and then hopefully trade them a capital. That's why I originally wanted Carrick Hearn. If that means that we can never attain over 100% Imperial authority, them's the breaks. It's not a big deal to me. The buffs are great, but they're not super needed, and I'd rather keep these allies. Frankly, their outpost units are probably worth a lot more to me than the little bit of buffs that we get headed into the late game. Frankly, I do think that the system needs slight adjustments for factions, or it needs to be like 100 doesn't need to be 100%. 100 should be like 95% or something like that to account for those factions that are within the Empire but are not necessarily Imperial. And obviously, similar to Bugman's, the same thing goes for Lorelorn. If, in fact, the very idea that the Nordlanders think that Lorelorn belongs to them, and they do think this, but it's silly. Lorelorn is older than the Empire. Okay, the Empire's not even that old. Lorelorn is far older than the Empire. Heck, it's older than Athaloran. It is an original elven colony from before the Sundering, from the time of colonization of the High Elves. And when the colonies withdrew and the Phoenix King stopped supporting them, Lorelorn stuck around. So they've been here for 7,000 years, and they'll probably still be there. Plus, Lorelorn is pretty cool in general. They're you know, they're a unique culture. They're technically wood elves in the fact that they are elves and that they live in woods, and and that they do have dealings with forest spirits and all of that. But they are their own unique subculture. They have a much more sort of relation to what the colony culture would have been from Ulthuan than Athaloran do. They're also more open, far more open than Athaloran, in the sense that they are very much more integrated with the Empire than, for example, Athaloran is to anybody around it. They would elf for Athaloran, their own, again, they're their own thing. Their units, their elves serve together with Imperials. They have a presence in the Empire Court. They have a presence in Nordland, obviously, and everything. Plus, they do some interesting things like trading with Nagaroth and stuff. So yeah, let them stay there. And eventually I might trade back, like, say, Athel to them or something like that, but I'll think about it. It's not a big deal. Anyway, I just had a thought about Lorelorn there and why I don't really want to wipe them out. They're pretty neat. Anyway, let's get back to whatever it was we were doing. I said we were going to go back through firing drills into combustion agent, and wait, no, into rifled barrels, rather. And got to get that trained marksman upgrade, missile strength, missile resistance, mounted weaponry, and then all the way into additional range and accuracy for everybody. Gonna be pretty good. Now, other than that, let's see if there's any other buildings that we can be trading now. This thing. Alright, first of all, let's take Orcamont immediately. In fact, you can go into trenches. Hopefully that'll help with the auto-resolve slightly. I imagine this should be very much auto-resolvable for this particular army. Yeah, no significant damage. Why would the warrior... The one support guy gets hurt. Okay. Hopefully the game doesn't continue that sort of thing, because that'll be annoying. And another student. We'll take it. Imperial Pegasus for... Wait. No. You guys don't need Pegasi. You stay on your demigriffs. That's the whole point of you here. All of you stay on your demigriffs. Bunch of idiots. I mean, obviously a Pegasus has some use, but I think I'd take the demigriff. Alrighty, and then you... Oh, you don't... Oh, I didn't get you... Okay, my bad. Go for Dwarfforge Plate and to raise your hammers into demigriff. I guess I forgot to get you your mount. And then, what did I do with the rest of you? Did I just go straight through We Are the Elite? Yeah, I went straight through We Are the Elite. And then you get full plate armor for some. That I think wasn't me. I think that was just a Confederation. You just went through We Are the Elite as well. Alright, we'll do the same thing with you, bud. And go here, and then We Are the Elite, and then we'll figure out what else to do. Otherwise, Mage, you got 2 levels out of that. Let's get Regrowth and Dwellers below for you. And then you... Okay, you got 1 level. I don't care right now. You've got 7 levels. Alright, you I do care about. Now... You obviously want Shield of Faith and presumably Soulfire and Retinue Physician. I guess we could start moving through Retinue Physician right now, although I do like the idea of giving Bolstered Attack to power up those demigriffs even more, so maybe we actually start moving through Armor of Righteousness first. Kind of make him into more of a warrior, warrior priest rather than a sort of a defender and buffer. Although Heart of the Griffin also kind of makes sense for demigriffs just by virtue of the name. It's just that bolstered leadership is kind of useless for demigriffs because they cause terror and thus they're immune to psychology anyway, so the capstone essentially is garbage. At least for the demigriff knights. I'll think about it. That means we can go through Organized, through Retinue Valet, and then onward towards Retinue Physician. Bump up that aura, though I once again doubt that you're going to need it. Against, with the Demigryphs, rather. Alright, and then what about the General here? Emil von Corden. Wait, are you a, You're not a count of anything, an elector count, but we'll see. I want you to get Military Heritage Knightly Orders, which gives in a 15% charge and 15% speed, and I'm thinking, but we might actually get Leading the Charge for you as well to get another 10% speed and charge. For this guy, granted, it would be at the cost of him as a strong lord, but generally speaking, I like buffing the army over buffing the single lord, especially when it's an all-cavalry army and they could use the additional speed. We do only have 5 Demigryph Knights here. We could put 5 Steel Standards in this army and give them a lot more, speed as well. Certainly something to think about. Anyway, Orcamont, are we able to trade this to you immediately? We are, and it's worth 24.4, which is atrocious. You're not going to trade Castle Sangalac for that, are you? You are not. Alright. We'll wait until this is constructed and we'll see. Maybe that'll do. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, do we really need your help up here? I mean, technically, Emil will be able to handle it on his own. You could start heading southward. Hey, what is this? Actually, if you take Summersfall Fort, that would be a good trade to these guys. And they are at war. And they are moving several armies in. Certainly something to think about. On the other hand, this is rather close in terms of proximity, so I think we'll still move in relatively close in the sea. We could probably get to Barrows of Quila and Black Chasm both at the same time and thus be able to head southward, which wouldn't be a bad thing either. Anyway, okay, let's actually start doing things from the top, though. Karl, you can now heal. Hopefully you don't get another mutagenic energies upon you, but let's get Wolf Forest. And again, I would really like to go down there, but we might as well knock out the Sarl. Keep on helping out our, Kislevite friends, alright? Good, and occupy. Alright, that should be Sarl destroyed unless I'm mistaken, and then go into, I don't know, Host Festag. The casualty punishment for help here. I'm gonna say State Troop Levy for the additional movement range in case Karl stays here for more than one turn. But otherwise, don't really bother building anything. We'll be trading that to Boris rather shortly. Frank, oh. He's gonna move through Boris's territory to try to get to our territory, isn't he? That's kind of funny. I'm not gonna be too useful for him, I'd wager, though. Oh, let's also move the Tech Thieves while we're here. Watchman and Double Success. In fact, let's move the Tech Thieves everywhere because I'm gonna forget. And we might as well also move these guys, so you're gonna pop into this army. Alright there, lovely. And we will need another one of these guys in here, won't we? Champion. I do like the champions, but I think Drill Sergeant is what we want for the ogres that we're going to pop into this force. And actually, speaking of the ogres, Iron Skins. These are... You can only build regular ogre bulls? I don't like that. I mean, I was hoping for at least some variant of ogre bulls. What do you... Like Iron Fists at least, not the basic ones. Are you just unable? How are you unable to build those? What, did you give me a oh, wow, you're gonna die soon. Oh, wow, what the heck happened here? Damn, I have not looked in here for a while. Iron Skins got obliterated. The Loish's Indulgence, I've never seen them get that big, Slanesh giggle. And and it looks like the Warhost of Jar is doing pretty good too. 19 settlements, wow. Well, it looks like they've taken a lot of this territory around the tower. Good for them, not so good for us because this is the only ogre ally we have. You know what, I guess this means we want to use up that allegiance immediately because it's gonna be gone and this faction will be destroyed. Alright, let's use it up then. And we'll just do the 2 regular ogre bulls, that's all we got. Or we could do 1 Yeti or 1 Gorger, but I don't think we care about that. I would have loved to have a giant too. Damn it, we need to ally with Greasus, but he doesn't want to right now. Okay, we'll get there. Anyway, Leitdorf. Oh, really? You were too afraid to go to Kingsway yourself? Is it a capital settlement? It is not. No. Okay, we'll deal with it in a second. Let's do it in order, though. Dolph. As always, you're gonna head to Rib Peaks. And grab that... fuck, I hate that this army is getting ripped apart by this garbage. This is not a minor settlement. I guess we could manually fight it super quick. Alright, fine. No choice in the matter. And I know I said I'd get an auto-resolve army for that army, and we will. We will. We just have a lot of things. We have our fingers in a lot of squigs right now, and and yes, I'm going to be keeping that phrase, no matter how it sounds. And yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff. Alrighty. Anyway, we've got to. There's got to be a morning after. Let's get you all. Oh, you've saved your position from last fight. That's interesting. That was last episode. Wait, have I restarted my PC since then? I don't know. Huh, that's still interesting. I really don't understand in what situations the armies save their, you know... Get you guys here. Save their formations, and then which situations they don't save their formations, get you guys here. Alright, all of you turn off skirmish mode. This is going to be a super easy battle, so we don't really have to care about too much, but I do want everybody at least in formation. Get you here. Okay, you go here, good. You guys are going to be group 3, good. Your skirmish mode is up. I want you in blazing shots rather than the other thing, and I want you Dolph moving forward. You can hover overhead. Everybody here is in position, good. Start moving forward. Oh, I always forget about these guys. You can be out here, I don't really care. Alright, Dolph forward. And everybody else fire away. Alright, squiggies are going to move forward, of course. But we should be able to stop them in their tracks like so. Beautiful. You guys back off slightly. Alrighty, and then let's do a burning head through the enemy line like so. And there we go. We must only use our powers to annoy, and maybe a flame storm here. Everybody else, feel free to back off. There we are. Alright, no problem. In fact, you're probably backing off a little bit too far as yet. And jump the gun a teensy bit. You have blocked off some trolls. And you know what? Get back to the main line. We're going to activate ballistics calibration and then probably win the fight that way. Alright, get a few more volleys into that unit of boar boys and I guess the other unit of boar boys. And then you can... Oh, I should have turned you into melee. You can charge that. And everybody back off again. Like so. Everybody else get ready. Alright, and we're gonna speed this up a teensy bit as we put ourselves into position. Everybody's ready. Go back to normal, regular speed, and then pop the... I'll pop it like this, I guess. Alright, ballistics calibration ready to go. There we go, and speed it up to max. Alright. I wanted to test it out, as somebody pointed out that you can put the flaming sword of Ruin directly on a unit, and it will then follow the unit, which is accurate. Oh, good. This is very, very good for this particular army. I do appreciate the tip. It still won't work very well for this army, but it'll work much better than, you know, having to sit still. Mind you, most of the units when they're running and gunning won't be close enough to take advantage of it anyway. But it'll really help for situations where we can keep it on top of usually probably the Northern Mariners and that element of the army. You're probably not going to keep it on the war wagons and such because they don't keep pace, generally speaking. Anyway, battle's ours. Still, that makes the Fire Wizard better for this army than otherwise. It was still the original plan for this army to have that massive damage increase with that double buff, and it still does work very well. I will definitely have to put a Light Wizard in a range army as well. I've mostly been putting... Well, okay, we have one Light Wizard so far, and he's in more of a melee-centered army. And now that we have essentially one... copy of every single lore of magic in at least one army, we're free to make duplicates as in and get other mages in other armies without worrying about having to use them all. Another crown of command. I gotta figure out which army this would be useful in. With the massive leadership aura size, we can usually increase the aura of an empire captain, which already has a massive leadership aura size. You don't need that. We'll give you a potion of toughness or a missile resistance iron curse icon or something like that. Anyway, let's see who's up next. Billings does not need to move, but Gavin is trying to hunt down Grimgor, who has not yet moved towards him. Grab Kazad Urkbavak in the meantime, then. And Grimgor, are you still at Pillars of Grugni, I wonder, or have you backed off? I guess we'll find out shortly. Occupy the place. And Imperial Griffin for Governor Hertzella? Yeah, I don't think so, no. None of that, please. And hey, another Lichbone Pennant. I get so happy every time I find one of these. Magical damage to a unit is such a nice buff. Anyway, Gavin, you will head to Pillars and we'll probably buff everybody here or level them up before we fight Grimgor. Jürgen, Mr. Wagner, you're going to hit Vagar Lodge. Like, oh, villages. Huh, I thought that he had died to Boris hunting him, but apparently not. Alright, well, take this temporarily. Actually, build the furs. We might actually be able to get some trade agreements out of that every time we find one. Scaling destroyed. Get another threat to Boris Ursus knocked out. Red Tsar should probably be pretty happy about what the Emperor's been doing. Exiles of Nehek and Khemri are ready to trade. Ooh, Exiles of Nehek are pretty big territory-wise with 21 settlements. And since no Wood Elves are willing to offer an agreement, let's do this. It says 1.4k per turn. It's probably like 2.8, 2.6, yeah. Pretty good. I do wish that the preview actually told you what the actual trade agreement would be, but I'm still happy that we actually got the trade agreement, so it's good. Khemri, for once, not getting obliterated by everybody around you, which is pretty nice as well. They have a bad tendency towards that. Miragliano. I mean, it's not like we really care who's holding the mountains and the southern realms, and, you know, again, similar to Lorelorn being a distinct culture from Wood Elves and High Elves, the Southern Realmers are a very distinct culture compared to the Empire, and thus, I don't know, not in me to generally wipe them out. Alright, let's start allying with them, I guess. I mean, again, it is annoying that they're trading with the Barrow Legion. How do they... the Wood Elves are kind of okay about them, they're just not super happy about them. Oh! Carcassonne doesn't like them very much, eh? Maybe we just start with the trade agreements and then we'll see. I would rather... I mean, if I had to choose between Bretonnia and Southern Realms, I would definitely choose Bretonnia. For obvious reasons. Lucchini is far enough away, though, that maybe if we trade with Lucchini, we don't annoy Bretonnia too much. So let's do that, at least for now. The other option would have been saving this trade agreement to eventually trade with the next Wood Elves that were willing. Oh, Cithral Ivres, you're willing to do a non-aggression pact. Good for you. Let's do both of those. Definitely a lot of Diplo in this campaign, but I do enjoy that. It feels absolutely appropriate for Karl and for the Empire in general. Non-aggression pact with the other Southern Realmers. We'll wait on that. Sylvania wants to trade, but they're going to be dead soon, so that's not going to happen. Argolan and Agarith still holding out on those military access pacts. Alright. That's elves for you, I guess, and Rivas. Okay, I don't think we're piecing out with any of these guys. I want Village dead. I assume it's Village that's been doing that mutagenic energies to us. Granted, I don't know which Tzeentchian faction it is, but I have a feeling it's a Village, because I don't remember a mutagenic energies from when playing other Tzeentchian factions, so... he should die for it, is what I'm getting at. Alright, explore the island. Quick save because of the war wagons and the tendency of the AI to kill them all off for no reason. Huh, yeah, they're fine. I don't know. I just don't know. Take the money. And then keep on moving. We've certainly picked up a decent number of islands over the last little while, and materials at sea, yes. Waldemar, you have just earned yourself, I don't know, something. While you were definitely going to get rewarded with a few steam tanks in place of some of those Hellblasters, we gotta get you something good. That is absolutely critical to our campaign. What this means, essentially, is that we can spend the next 6 turns being very light on recruiting, or not recruiting at all, using it all to build up our economy, and that'll essentially carry us to the end of the campaign, because it'll well, okay, our economy is kickstarted already, mind you, but it'll so significantly increase our economic power that we'll just be able to start pumping out Crusader armies here with ease, right after that's done. Knights Panther are going to get a Crusader army. We're probably going to do several of the other armies. It's going to be a fun time is what I'm getting at. Let's just move towards it. All right. Theodric von Blitzen. All right, you had to deal with those. You are going to auto-resolve this. War wagons. I had to double-check that. All right. Hey, they didn't die. All right. That battle was really annoying because the game crashed just after the end turn, so I had to redo the battle because, you know, the auto quick save. Huh. Prestige 69420. What are the odds? Nice. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it was annoying to have to redo that fight, but well, not a big deal. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have? Elspeth von Dragon. Oh, and the crash apparently happened because of the Steam update on Tuesday, which is a thing. And I don't know. I wouldn't assume that a Steam update would kick you out of Total Warhammer. I don't see why it would, but it did. To my tremendous annoyance. Anyway, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go here. I believe somebody's Steam tank is ready also, unless I'm mistaken.
Hunt and forage.
Yes, okay, so you're gonna carry one Steam tank, so grab that, and then go deliver it. You are now delivery boy. Delivery man. Go.
No further.
Okay, I just had to check that he had Root Marcher. Actually, he has 17 points, so we could get him Headhunter, which will increase his campaign movement range even further by not a crazy amount. And let's get you Iron Disciplinarian and Fervent, so that while you move through our friendly territories, you bump up that public order. Quartermaster and... I don't know, these don't matter. Headhunter, and might as well bump up... anything else would help while you move through territory? I mean, I guess in the unlikely event that you need to recruit stuff, you might as well get leader over now. Anyway, there you go. Go deliver. Delivery boy. Let's see. You, Recruiter Beckberg, have Elspeth's second steam tank. Again, I don't want to overdo the steam tanks, but we can use that here. I was hoping that we had some free these guys. I like to use the Huntsman Generals as the delivery boys. I guess we could use one of these guys then. Tactician. Esteemed are better to carry multiple units around. Yeah, there, I'll do the Tactician one. Wolfram Blaze. You. Root Marcher. Iron Disciplinarian. I guess none of this... Oh, funnily enough, if you had been level 12, you would have been able to move further. But oh well. Let's get you Leader of Renown, Irrepressible, and Quartermaster. Alright, get you Deliverin'. Next. Who is next? We have Philip Ivan the Crazy. I was saying you're going to go to Altdorf because we'll need extra halberdiers to be with the Altdorf Company of Honor. Leopold von Bildhofen, I don't remember why, but we were going to send you... Oh, I think we were going to actually use you, so yeah, you go over there. Recruiter Albrecht, you're fine until you need to recruit. Wolfric Ergiga, you are fine unless we delete you or replace you. And Marius Lakedorf, you're going to hit Kingsway. And you are going to quick save and auto-resolve it. Man. Yeah, now the war wagons are fine. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, it's not a bad thing that they're fine. It's just... it's just annoying to have to worry about every time. Okay, you don't need that right now, Leitdorf. And then Clan Grutnik. I wonder how many territory... Okay, I guess it's this and this. I just want to wipe them out before we head back to our own territories, because clearly we can't leave Karakadrin to do it. And then once we give them all this territory, hopefully they can do some fighting on their own without us having to solve all of their problems. You'd think they'd be able to reclaim at least a few realms. Although maybe the Slayers aren't super worried about it. They have other things on their minds, such as they are. Anyway, you are going to... I was going to say channel, but there isn't any need. You're going to head down to Brittle Peaks, and then you're going to follow. You're mostly here temporarily. You're going to go to Ashmere, in fact, because I don't want to lose your units. I also decided to punt the Stubborn Bulls out of Volkmar's army, because instead I think I'd like to do Knights of War in there instead. So you're going to go here. Why Knights of War? Because Knights of the Everlasting Light have an aura on them, the Blinding Radiance aura, and the Knights of War do as well. They have a, not the Grim Resolve or Iron Resolve, Stern Resolve, there we go. Yeah, so something Resolve. And that's another augment that gives immunity to Psychology removal via Dreaded, and also confers immunity to Psychology, Terror, and Melee attack. I assume it doesn't do anything to undead, but well, whatever. Anyway, Recruiter Albrecht. Well, you know what? We'll have witch hunters to deal with undead in that way anyway. Balthazar Gil... Sea Corpse. Yes, alright. You're gonna grab the Sea Corpse. Did I move this? Oh, I was gonna move the Tech Thieves and then I didn't. Yeah, that's what it is. Put the carcass. I'll resolve it. I'm so happy about the materials at sea. And... money. Now we just need to make as much money as we can by fighting and doing other stuff, and then that will pay for more stuff. Anyway, Balthy, go down there. You guy, go here to Dragonhorn Mines. I don't care which way you take, which direction you go, but you can't stay here. Alright, let's actually move all the heroes around then, while we at it. Toran Rock for you. You are in Norska, and then I don't remember exactly where the other two are. Okay, yeah, you're here, Valais Sorrow, and there's another guy here at Pillar of Bones. Beauty. Alright, that's it for these guys, minus James Schreiber. You are going to, yeah, you're Gold Wizard, you're going to join the Bretonnian army. Oh, you guys are nearly ready, you just need some Empire captains. Actually, speaking of Empire captains, oh, we can't build them here, can we? No, we will be able to build them here after we build this. Okay, and also, let's also upgrade the U while we're here. It's not going to get any cheaper after all. Materials at Sea is also going to be a good time to build up all of our minor god temples. And as much as we can, all of our tier 5 settlements. Now, are you ready to fight regardless of the fact that you don't yet have a wizard and stuff? I mean... I feel like you can. It would be dangerous for you. But you're more or less okay. Alright, fine. Start heading down here. The Empire captains and stuff can catch you.
If you want it done right.
As soon as we get the ability to build them down here. And also, you are very much out of order. My bad. Like I've said before, I pathologically am incapable of sticking to doing everything along the list. Anyway, Arch Recruiter Hartman, we'll deal with you in a bit. Aldebrand, you're fine. Gustav, you're fine. Baldric, you are not fine. You need to continue doing things. And the things that you shall be doing is... I guess the Hawklanders want to find and hunt down some undead as well as some orcs, so you're going to go this way. Alright. March stance, please. While Theodoric von Blutten takes some Torka, I guess. Southern Realmers probably not going to be happy about us wiping the Barrow Legion, but if they attack us, well, then they'll lose their territories. Oh, actually, I do wonder... Oh, don't tell me... Oh, you got hit with mutagenic energies, too? I am getting real sick of that. Wait, is it... I mean... Over 2 turns, it's affected 3 armies that I know of. How often does he get to use this? This is really irritating. And this guy is... Huh? Wait, he has 72 HP. Oh, no, he has 72 barrier. Okay, 689 HP. I got a little bit weird there for a sec. Alright, just go past this. I'm glad that we didn't keep you out at sea, because you're going to need this to heal up. What if it would have been faster to cut across Bretonnia and then go back out to sea, but we'll see. I'll think about it. You will also obviously still need that warrior priest, and we still got to get you one. Ooh, we got to bring the builder here to reduce that cost, because this is definitely the time to build it. Guardian, holy warrior. Damn, I really want the one that gives us devastating flanker. Alright, back to the order. We'll get back to you, troop train, don't you worry. Boris, you cannot reach Temple of Myrmidus, and these guys have actually... They were here before, right? I think they moved back here. Alright. And Boris was afflicted with those mutagenic energies as well, so...
This will bolster the nation. Step to it.
Alright, I hope it bolsters the nation. You go here. Alright, that's Boris.
Who calls?
Perhaps finally he'll be able to bring the Todd. Where were we in the list? That's Boris. Tintla, how's Karakadrin doing? Can we get 2 more gyrocopters? We cannot. They remain rather expensive, and... Oh, did I not build the outpost with Karazkarak? Oh, right. I had intended to, but then I realized... Well, you know what? They do have the... maybe it's time. Build it at Barakvar, then. We could always move it later. But I want those other gyrocopters, and especially since we don't seem to be getting likely to get them out of Karakadrin. Order of Lore Masters. Order of Lore Masters, we've had 100 allegiance with them for a while, but they've been useless. They're not upgrading Flying Fortress. I've been really, like, look, it's tier 4. They're only now upgrading their barracks, their rally field, to tier 2. What I really want them is to upgrade that Elven Forge as well, because I'm pretty sure that's the building that constructs Lothern Skycutters, which are absolutely fantastic and which I want. Frankly, I'd love to get some Skycutters with, like, the Hunts Marshal's army. That would be lovely. But anyway, Tinkla, stay there. Valmir, stay there. Elgar, I'm probably going to reset you. Builder, you are... Oh, okay, we actually need to do stuff with you. Let's see. Now, you are here currently in Tom. Might as well use it. Upgrade everything for as cheap as we can make it. Like so. Ah, 1 turn to build that Wizard's Tower. That's nice. It's real nice. You're then going to proceed towards Eilhart. Wait. Yeah, towards Eilhart via Bogenhafen. And that will allow us to build a common temple at only 2.4k. Oh, materials at sea. And then we'll build up whatever else we have here. And good. Then, now that we have Eilhart constructed, do we go back to Ubersreich? It is a tier 5 upgrade, so I guess we can go back to it. We could then move down to Grunberg, although... Dukelberg is part of this. Wait. Would you be able to go here? You would. How beautiful. You're serving a purpose, sir. Alright, and then you can go for another common temple. Fantastic. You can then go here to Grunberg. And... there we go. Build the cheaper Imperial Harbor, build the cheaper thingy, and then a clothier, and then another common temple, and upgrade it to tier 4. Not tier 5, sadly, but still pretty good. It'll take 2 turns to build it, funnily enough, which if we stay here, we'd be able to still upgrade, but I feel like we should move you to Karoberg, maybe... Yeah, you know what? You should start the journey towards Marienburg. That's the one we really want to upgrade, because it's insanely expensive to build anything here. And frankly, there's a bunch of other stuff around here that could use stuff. Stedham needs to be upgraded to tier 5. Those are the main super expensive things that we want to do. Alright, anyway, yeah, that already took like half our money, damn. Alright, well, troop train, go on. Grab the Sea Corpse and then move towards the Mysterious Island. I wonder if Dastan Kolda is gonna attempt to attack you. Loot Carcass. Out of resolve. We do have war wagons again. Damn you, game. Okay. Out of resolve. And we will need a Bright Wizard in here because all grenades are fire damage. And we'll want to make use of that. Alright, another little bit of cash. We need it for the upgrades. Can't do the Mysterious Island as yet, but you can head up the coastline. And not quite in range of Dastan Koldai. He has one of the tougher armies, so it would be interesting to fight him if it comes down to it, eh? Yes. I do like the fact that we have high-level mortars here. This is the only army with them. In fact, you get a name. Ground Pounders. Ground Punders? Ground Punters? Ground Pounders. There we go. Gropos. Anyway, there we go. Let's see. What? Okay, that was Troop Train. I was wondering what his name was. Who's next? Recruiter Olden. Ah, yes, good. Okay, so you can give this stuff to Nicholas Immel Shielder. He is, however... Yeah, okay, that's not ready. It's not ready. Oh, are you able to build another... Wildwood Ranger? Oh, 2 more. Alright, fine. Fine. I guess we'll build some more stuff. I mean, we'll fill this army up with other kinds of things. We need to just build whatever we can right now. Make use of it. Just to start the army fighting so that Volkmar, when he gets on field, can immediately... Or not Volkmar, Wolfheart can immediately do things. So we'll build 2 more huntsmen for you. I'll just do 3 more huntsmen. 3 more huntsmen for you. And then... I guess we could build some... You know what? I really don't want to waste more money on this. Not right now. I'll think about it. We'll see how much money we have. Materials at sea is so precious. Anyway. Should be right near the edge of the end of the turn, unless I'm mistaken. Olden is fine, and we'll shield her. Okay, just had to double check you all. And unless I'm mistaken, we're good. There wasn't somebody at the top that... Oh, right, Dolph. Wait, no, we already did that. Never mind. I thought I was going to save it, but then I didn't. Then I guess I didn't save anything. Lovely. All right, let's do building real quick. Going to be a little bit of admin this episode, I admit, but it'll be all worth it in the end. It's never going to get cheaper to build up the forts, so let's build up the forts. Helmgart is, 6,000. You know what? We'll wait for Builderman. Okay, you're not Builderman, but Builderman to move there. Black Mountains is going to be traded, hopefully next turn. I still want to double-check Bretonia for the trading. Oakenhammer. You know what? Pay us for Oakenhammer. We need all the money we can get right now.
In finding death in
Really?
battle.
1,000. Okay, we'll keep that hopefully for another turn where we can hopefully get a little bit more cash for solving all their problems. We deserve it, in my opinion. Anyway, that's I forget what that place was, but I'm sure we'll find the next. Circle of the Sun. It's similarly never going to get cheaper to build the landmark there, so we may as well build it up. And I guess the Shrine of Sigmar is going to go and get replaced with pottery. Desolation of Dreckenmore, we're just going to trade you, so I don't care about you. Oh, we could trade it to the Yorks for, what was it, 10k? Wasn't too bad. Other factions aren't going to like it, but who else would we trade it to? Huh, I wonder. Wait, I have an idea. Wait, Dreckenmore. It's a red territory anyway. They will give it... only 7k? Man. Alright. Would you declare war on... I'm gonna say the Red Eye. Yes, you would. And the... I guess these guys? Lamian Sisterhood? Oh wow, they don't want to fight the Lamian Sisterhood, but they're bordering them more than they are the Red Eye anyway. Alright, I guess we'll do that. You want to break your agreements with the Red Eye? You want to break your agreements with Slaves of Jar? You want to break your agreements with Broken Wheel? Yes. What about your military access? You got none. What about your... Okay, you don't have defensive alliances. Alright, I know it's weird to be giving them a settlement, but these guys can kill them. I should have done it back when it was 10k rather than 7k, but it is what it is. There we go. It's not like we got any kind of non-aggression pact. They still absolutely despise us, and the negative is probably going to be very minimal compared to what we've got. Anyway, that'll give us more money to work with as we continue building stuff. Now, as for where that was in the order, I once again don't know. Alright, Grungzent, no, we have checked you. This will be traded. I feel like it reordered itself. Did I do something wrong? It completely reordered itself. What the heck, game? Okay, we're gonna have to start the list over again. Maybe it reordered itself because of the loss of the Desolation of Dreckenmore? Weird as that may seem. Go figure. Alright, well, Elfenic we can ignore. Pale Sisters we can ignore because it's being traded. Hanging Rock is being traded. Kleinland, Klessen, might as well upgrade you. Looking to keep it after all. Mousillon, we are looking to trade you most likely. But we can upgrade Castle Rashar in the meantime. Mount Bloodhorn, Bitterstone Mine, most likely to be traded so we can ignore it. Rosefells in the Shadow of Forests, or Forest of Shadows rather, we can keep you. And we should build you up while we do. Furlongen, I guess we'll build a common temple here. Again, I'd rather pay 3,000 than 6,000. Oak of Prophecy we will be trading. So I'm not going to invest in you, although just in case, maybe we will upgrade you in case we can make you worth a little bit more. Although wait, we have 6 turns of materials at sea, so we could spend a little bit of extra cash and still have 1 turn to upgrade you 1 more level. Wait. You probably won't grow enough, but we'll find out. Alrighty, Blacklaw Lair will ignore Lost Kypria and Mantreda. Alright, we can demolish you two. We'll actually probably eventually rebuild them, but not right now. And I guess build the tap room here, at least to start. Mordheim, never gonna get cheaper. Start with the city. Gromridge, Rib Peak. We are just going to trade it as it is. Gisoro, you are a place we are actually going to keep, so build up that weaving house. Devil's Backbone, Quarry of Bone. I did say I wanted to keep the place because of the presence of the Tusk compound. Plus, I don't dislike the fact that we have a bunch of factions essentially in this portion of the map. And then each one of us owns a single settlement. Mahrak owns 1, the Court of Libaris owns 1, and then we own 1, all in the Devil's Backbone. That's where we make our treaty, I guess. Anyway, Delved Heights. Most likely we're going to trade it to the Dwarfs, although I do wonder if the Kislevites would be willing to pay us a decent amount of cash for it. I'll think about it. Dwarfs might not be too happy about that, but, you know, if they don't got the cash... let's see, Tourist Vigilance and Silent Isle. We're looking to trade you, but we need to make inroads first. Aldium, you're going to be traded away as well. Zufbar and Oakenhammer are fine. This place is fine. Agraldrin is fine in the sense that we're waiting for it. Cragmere is going to be traded away. Really could have used the additional cash. Thinking Geysers, we are keeping you. I guess it's never going to get cheaper to build those reinforced walls, but 11 turns. I guess we might as well build the toll gates here as well. We probably won't need the fields, but you can keep them up and running for now. Ward of Rain, we will keep, but the investment serves little purpose. Oh, admittedly, at 2.4k, might as well get started on it, and the tall walls. And then build the paved roads there as well. Alrighty, Axbite Pass, Helmgart, you are similarly in need of a... actually, we should really trade Castle Songlak so that we could upgrade it immediately, if that's possible. I guess we'll see. Anyway, Lamia, what are you missing? What we need is... the ability to build Sigmarite Disciples. Unfortunately, you're tier 3, so that's not going to be easy. We might actually have to build one across the mountains instead. I guess instead then we will build the Gunsmith since we don't have one here. Gotta do what you gotta do. Leblia and stuff, you're going to the Kislevites? Yes, okay, so River... wait. Yeah, we're not trading you, okay. Go for the Weaving House. Oh, you're gonna be in need of public order, ain't you? We'll deal with it. Brovska, we're keeping you as well. Go for the tap room and for the brine mine, and for the paved roads, the tap room, and the Weaving House. Lovely. Not able to collect money yet, but soon. Lair of the Troll King, not keeping. Vargir Forest. Morton's home. We are keeping, so let's keep investing in you. Running out of cash now. But building plenty of good stuff. Might as well build it. Well, it's expensive to build these, but, I mean, we gotta build them at some point. Might as well. Alrighty, and that's pretty much all the money we got. Oh, we can build the, paved roads here at the Ward of Frost. What is this? Oh, this is this place. Alright. I wonder how much this place will be worth to the, to these guys. Old Fennec. 8.3k. You know, I hate to deprive these guys of any money because they need it. Because they're fighting a lot of enemies. They have a lot of fronts going, and they're going to be very useful to us because somebody needs to hold Norska. On the other hand, we need the money more than they do right now. And frankly, we're doing all of this in Norska and giving all of this to them, so they better just deal with it. Anyway, we were right here on the list, so... may as well spend at least a little bit of that cash. Tumbledowns, you are a few more turns away from tier 5, unfortunately. We could build a Siege Engineer's Workshop, but it's kind of not worth it. Akendorf, let's upgrade Ulfreya. So beautifully cheap, and then we might as well go for the Wizards Campus and the tap room everywhere we can. Go for another tap room. Newland ignored. Brienne to be traded. Castle Set will probably be traded, but nonetheless I want to upgrade it in case we need to make it worth more. And that is it. Alright, skip damage building, I guess. Let's see if anybody attacks us anywhere. Do they have anywhere to go? Alright, Schemes of Doom everywhere from the Skaven. Clan Vulcan destroyed. Red Eye Wav fails. Constructor ready for duty, ready for duty, ready for duty. Good for all of them. Hey, whoa. What do we have to do? Kill Titchet for an extinguished Phoenix Pinion. Yes. Kill Titchet. 55. I'm kind of... I mean, it's an extinguished Phoenix Pinion. I think that this is worth the potential extra point expenditure. I don't know how hungry for points... Oh, retinue. I don't know how hungry... wait, well... should increase the assassinate chance, shouldn't we? Out of curiosity, does anything here increase assassinate chance? Additional 20%. What does he have his other points by? 20% is much nicer. It is an extinguished Phoenix Pinion, but we'd have to undo this, or we'd have to reset him later, because the flaming attacks are useless in this army, and... silver bullets, no, enemy of the undead. Yeah, we definitely have to reset you. Not that that's a big deal, mind you. Alright, fine. Definitely go for the Phoenix Pinion. Try this. Don't screw me on this. Good job. Critical success. There we go. Free extinguished Phoenix Pinion. And a scribe. Now, you can't move. Oh. So, Orky army out here. That's a little bit on the irritating side, because I wanted to push towards Mortis Tarn, but that would mean allowing this guy to bypass us, most likely. Might have to send the Bretonnians back this way, then. Oh, and I had just moved you down there. Alright, well, that is what it is. Gustav Schneider, you're going to proceed to Brittle Peaks, and then Mr. Siegfried will follow.
Wherever my craft is needed.
In right beside you. Hopefully, these guys won't immediately go kill you and ambush you right there, which is a distinct possibility, so we shall see. Alrighty, Volkmar, you're going to proceed to Mortis Tarn. I'd like to see what's over there. I imagine it's a full stack. And now you have no mage and your army is looking pretty weak, but it is what it is. Gotta do what you gotta do, etc. Let's see what we're looking at. And it is a pretty nice stack. We will build siege equipment, you will take this, and then we'll see if you can hold them off and fight them. We're going to level you up prior to the fight as well. Oh, you only have the 1 point. Well, that ain't super helpful to you. Isn't that a shame? We'll start moving through Emperor's Finest, I guess, because we will have Army of Sigmar, Sigmarite Disciples. Oh, you know what I should have done? Should have popped in the Tattersouls in here before we moved out. And the Knights of Moor. Too late, though. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I got too excited about the Phoenix Pinion. Emperor's Finest. Alrighty, Skaven Revealed, and then you. Do you need any levels? You can get at least Soulfire. That at least is nice. And then I guess we'll want to start moving towards the Retinue Physician, although you're very close to Faith's Bastion, so maybe we'll actually move towards Benediction first instead, unlike the other ones. Yeah. Alright, do you have a Phoenix Pinion? Okay, now I have to find a wizard of ours that I did not give a Phoenix Pinion to. Why have I been giving these to wizards? Shut up. No, it's because the spell resistance is nice, although I'd feel like we'd probably be better to not give them to Amber Wizards because they need more fighty gear. Yo, do you have a Phoenix Pinion? Yes, you do. And yes, this is important because it's a faction-wide buff, and thus yeah, there you go. And thus we need everybody to have one. Opinion. There we go. That's my opinion. There we go. Let's see. Now, are we ready to start from the top? No, there's two things we need to do. First of all, Carrick Gantuk for Wusterberg.
Welcome, men of the Empire.
Gantuk for Wusterberg? Now you're very much willing to do it. And we'll take your money as well. But anyway, just want to double check that Gantuk is now not worth more. Let's see, 114 versus Angazar, which is 145. Okay. Gantuk for Wusterberg. And all your money. Such as it is. Now, will you do Kurtzhofen for Carrick Angazar?
And what can the Dawi do?
I think they won't, but...
Fine day.
No, they won't. Damn. Well, that's annoying. We'll just have to sell the Mangazar. Maybe? Huh. I do wonder, though. No, this is already a military structure. This place cannot get more expensive than it already is, meaning we need to conquer Kazad, Elgazan, no, Carrick, Kefirkamaz, and then give that to them. Via this road up there, essentially. Meaning... we're gonna need to send an army up there. Probably not Baldric, though, because there's a lot of stuff to do down here, even though he could go up there. Just hoping that the other dwarfs don't conquer it before we get there. Oh well, it is what it is. We're nearing there, and hey, that puts us up to 96 out of 100, so at least that's something. And we can also upgrade Wusterberg up there immediately while it's cheap, and get those grazing pastures. I do feel like it's annoying that they're not trading this to us, because again, temperate climate versus mountain climate. They don't like this climate, they like this climate. This completes our province, this completes their province, and bleh. But what can you do? And yes, I know that there's a mod that makes it easier, there's probably several, but... Do we get out of here? And upgrade other stuff? I mean, we got a lot of places to be, admittedly. And I did say we gotta start the journey. Anyway, yeah, alright, fine. Go through this direction then. Wait a moment. If we go here, we could upgrade some of this expensive stuff. But then if we take one turn here, we'd have 5 turns remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, And then we'd reach this on the 5th turn. I don't think we should risk it. Alright, fine. I guess we won't. Alright, go through Tom then. Actually, wait. I want to see if we can trade Castle Songlak first. Songlak for Orkamont. So you are going to march stance all the way over here. You are going to march stance all the way up here. Not like Grommy is likely to attack you. And then we will attempt the trade. Orkamont for Songlak as soon as they stop moving. That's as far as you can move. Oh, you're probably going to take 2 turns to do that. Again, Orkamont for Songlak. Now they're what? Oh, wow. How much is Orkamont worth to you now? 124, eh? Alright, well, good for you. For Songlak, and we'll take the money. What, 15k? Oh, wow. You, well, you're probably going to need the money, but we'll help you and get those territories back for you, so go for it. I don't care. Like so. Lovely. And they're free to hold these hills. Grey Lady passing. Hey, we can indeed upgrade it. Oh, but it's so cheap that it's... Man, that might not even be worth it to bother wasting your movement range to go here. Because it's only this level, so just do it. And with Council Burgomeisters, we'll be able to upgrade it to level 3 after. But anyway, go through Tom. And you need to loop back towards Karoberg and then all the way up northward. Too bad we don't have any more of these builder guys. I guess I should have teched towards Manorialism. My mistake for not doing that earlier, but anyway. Aelhart is next. There we go, and we have everything here. Okay, so what's the next place to be? I guess we can move through here towards Helmgard next turn. Actually, you've got a tank to deliver. Actually, speaking of tanks, wait, did you stop? Yes. We've got to build... Okay, wait. Was I not? Oh, did I forget to send you? My bad. You, go deliver that. I was going to say we gotta build a couple more tanks. We have... Oh. One of each type. Alright, I guess we gotta wait for the capacities to come up. I guess we could start on the land ships. How expensive are they to recruit here? 1440. A little bit more expensive than I'd like. We can build them for free here, I think, because our recruiter Hartmann has these significant reductions on them. Oh, actually, no. Oh, right, it's because we had this call to arms, which admittedly we can still do. Oh, we also have Unify available again. Ah, yes, the Confederation debuff is over. All right, well, that's nice. Yes, we're going to take Sol Valley. Mostly because I want Eldred's Guard. And because we want Eldred's Guard in several places. Local recruitment capacity +1 all provinces is also quite useful. Vanguard deployment for Gelt will be quite useful. Grudge Settler will be his weapon. Yeah, I think this is the choice. There is... I do want the Sutsun's guns as well, but the timber resource is kind of meh. And... Corruption all provinces is okay. Enemy hero action success chance is actually quite nice, but it's not like they're doing too much right now. So yeah, Solent it is. Alright, let us unify once more. Solent. Lovely. 5,000 prestige per, though now I think we're looking pretty okay. Sol Valley is ours. There's Confederation. Let's see what we're looking at in terms of anything useful here. You. Devoted. Useless. Goodbye to your army. I'm not going to bother keeping the units. We'll re-recruit anything that's needed, and then you can just be disbanded. What do we got out of you guys? Okay, first of all, you have an Empire Captain with... Nope. What about... Nope. Disband. You. Anything neat? Yeah, we got some okay levels on some of these troops, but again, we can rebuild them rather than wasting 4.2k per turn. Your trait isn't too bad, though, so we might keep you. Anyway, we will... Oh, you are a low level, though, which I don't really care for. Probably we're better off just getting a new guy instead. Johan, did these guys really not build a single Eldred's Guard? Man, I got kind of screwed over by that. Myrmidia's Blessing. Defensive. I mean, we're going to reset these guys anyway. Alright, I get disband. Any items on you? No items. Oh, these guys haven't been doing much. Although I do like the giant pile of pistoliers of the army there. I can appreciate it. Good job to them for leveling as well. Alright, you reset. I guess the AI might have been using him as a recruiter since he had Recruiter of Renown or Leader of Renown, and there we go. I believe that was all that we got from Solland. Now, speaking of Solland, how are we doing here? Take this out, take this out, take this out. You can be upgraded, I guess, immediately, though we could go for the Council of Burgomeisters. It's not that expensive anyway. Well, I mean, it's going up to tier 3. It's not going any higher anyway, so yeah, might as well. You have 2 turns, so we will still be able to get use out of materials at sea. You're going to have a Minor God Temple, you're going to have a Minor God Temple, you're going to have a Minor God Temple. And we don't need the barracks here. And we do definitely... You didn't build a Filedorf wine market? Are you kidding me? Okay. AI being absolutely silly again. Yet again. And was it only the 1 territory that these guys had? Or was it 2? I guess it was just the 1. Well, nonetheless, we got the Eldred's Guard now, and Gelty. You're gonna be the one to start with that. Also, you go down here and go steal tech as you can, whereas Gilt, proceed to Stone Mine Tower, please.
It is best to move.
And sad though it may be to get rid of high-tier pikemen and spears, they were here mainly as placeholders. So we're gonna start with 2 Eldred's Guard for you. And just to start them immediately on cooldown. Oh, we have to actually make you the... Yeah, okay. Gelt. Buddy. If I can find you here. Hey, come on, Golden Face. Huh? There he is. Alright.
Sigmar's will.
There we go. And Sullen Runefang is yours now. The spell resistance reduction will be nice. Especially once you get your 2 gold wizard apprentices with the whatchamacallits. Other trickster shards to buff them anyway. Now you can now have 2 of those Eldred's Guard. They're fantastic looking units in terms of their armor and stuff. I absolutely love them, so we're gonna get them. And fortunately, they're not insanely expensive to recruit either, because I guess they're just spears. Definitely got to put a couple of them in several armies. Now, buildings and trading buildings. We got Castle Sanglak. We want to get Gruner and Castle Pervan. Now, will you trade Castle Grand Set for Gruner? Let's find out. Castle Grand Set for Gruner. Yes, indeed you will. And you don't have the money for it, but we will do it right now. And then we want to trade you Brienne, which we've been saving for Castle Pervan, which gives us the province. Do we need you to join any wars? I don't think we do. I think we're okay. Yeah, go for it. Beautiful. All right, and province secured Pervan. We can go Council of Burgomeisters. By and large, these will be probably militarized provinces, I think. Especially since there's no real adjacency bonus benefits out of them. At least I would think so. Nonetheless, you can build a tap room. Well, I guess you could build it next turn. You don't need the armory / blacksmith here. Frankly, you don't need the barracks here either. Yeah, we'll upgrade that stuff. Now, this should have... Yes, it opened up this thing, which gives us the ability to now recruit the Grey Mountain Band as well. Guffin of McGray, allegiance points gained faction-wide at the cost of some relations with Bretonnia, mind you, but you know what? I don't dislike it. And it gives ward save 10, huh. It also enables magical attacks, which is quite interesting. It's not a crazy amount of ward save, but magical attacks would mean being able to forego getting magical attacks on the... what is Boris? I know Boris has the White Cloak of Ulrich. He should have that. Granted, it's actually kind of terrible in terms of buffing him himself, but he already has magical attacks out of Legbiter, so he's okay there. Who needs magical attacks then? Funnily enough, we could give magical attacks to Dolph, give him even more damage, because it's funny. You have the Jade Griffin, so that's useless to you. I think Wolfheart's Bow is magical, but I can't be 100% sure about it. You have Death's Timekeeper, and then Karl has the Silver Seal. I gotta go to somebody. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter who we make the... wait, actually. Does the Elector count thing give any buffs? No, just corruption reduction in the region. I decided to make Volkmar the Count of Sylvania, although funnily enough, here in Terra not as useful on him. Although he is holding Stalberg's letter, we could still use the corruption reduction where he is. It could also probably be on somebody that's good at fighting. Let's temporarily give it to... oh wait, Dolph is already a Elector count, isn't he? So is Jurgen. I'm just looking for an army that would be appropriate for this particular thing. Marius is already one. Man, everybody we have is an Elector count. Yeah, you're one. That's Averland and Hochland. Gelt is Solend now. I guess we could make one of these guys. At least temporarily. Alright, fine. Siegfried or Gustav. No, this guy. Gavin von Pupilscheit? How would he pronounce this? Let's do you, but I will probably redo that. And then give it to somebody else. Yeah. I feel like the magical attack should probably go on somebody else, but anyway. The allegiance points gained alone is super, super worth it. Alright. Also, ally missions. Grimgor Ironhide. We have 2 missions for you now. I'm gonna have to find you. I'm looking for the buildings again. So we've traded all this. These guys have a full province now. Okay, now this looks kind of weird, but whatever. Whatever. I guess, yeah, but there was no way that we could give it to Bordelot because they... nothing we could do about it. And nothing at all. And we do still need to acquire Castle Gisoro from them, though, and I'm still not entirely sure how we go about doing it, because these places have not been worth as much as I'd like. So let's just double check. Tourist Vigilance, 37, and then the Silent Isle is 96. And from them we need Fort Berg-Bray. And this place. Alright, how much for Fort Berg-Bray?
Welcome to Fair Bretonia.
Tourist Vigilance, 37. Fort Berg-Bray is 8.6. Okay, we're not giving you whatever amount of money. We'll wait until it builds up, and then we'll give it to you. If push comes to shove, we could give them Grungzend for it, and then just try to trade Valley, Florida from... these guys? Funnily enough, it might fall to rebels anyway. Oh, we also need to get this from these guys. Ugh. I guess we could give them these 2 provinces for them. We need to actually really confederate you now so that we don't have to deal with that. In fact, it might be a good cause for you guys to land right now and just help out with this. Although, it looks like these guys are going to take Barfleur. So you should probably go up the coast, or further up the coast at least. But that's the nature of the switcheroo sometimes. A mechanical steed, and keep going up the coastline then. You got a couple more islands you can grab before landing at Soleil. Now we can start doing things in order again. And now I think we're going to probably ignore... oh, you gotta be kidding me. These guys could not reach us, so they're heading down here. Wellity, wellity, wellity. Oh, so are you. Oh, you absolute jerk faces. Okay, well, grenades, you've got other places to be then. You're gonna grab this mysterious island. You're going to intercept the orcs instead. Go for fortified grog, I guess. Alright, and then go this way. I really wanted to send you up to fight those other guys. Let's see how quickly you can intercept the... oh, wow. It's a solid army. I can't believe you're running from Boris. He was going to have a nice fight against you. Come on. Everybody's trying to deprive Boris of his fights. Unbelievable. Steel Tech, good. You can head to Temple of Myrmidus now. And then I guess we will... okay, I'm going to quick save this because I don't trust the auto-resolve with the with these guys, and I guess with this guy as well. Please don't go down to 1 HP. Okay, good. I was worried about getting hit with mutagenic energies again. And then Occupy. Alright, Power Stone and Noble. Oh, we haven't gotten one of those. Ranked up in a province with low control. Interesting. I keep collecting the money for the next couple of turns. Upkeep production for swords, pikes, spears, halberds. Free company, crossbows, and handgunners. Okay, you know what? A bunch of those would have been really helpful for our armies that use basic troops, so hopefully we can give that to somebody. And hopefully we get a few more of those. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be an annoyance that we have to deal with because these provinces are, technically speaking, undefended. The only one that's close by is Karl, and he probably could catch these guys. I don't really want to waste his time, but I don't see how we can avoid it. Alright, fine. It is what it is. We'll see how these guys... Oh, wow, they can travel far. Which is unsurprising, but we shall see. See how they react to this. Could probably send this guy back that way then as well, just in case, though he's actually going to take a long time to get there. And Aldebrand Ludenhoff can recruit, but he won't be able to recruit and get there at the same time either. Alright, I will think about that. We might build another army there. Could probably even do some basic stuff like, I don't know, just halberds and something, and then use them to capture... What do we have at Grand Peak? Pretty good garrison. Use them to... I think we want to prioritize the Zinchans. Yeah, go here. Use them to capture islands, or, you know, get more islands. Might be nice to have a few admiral armies. Anyway, you can channel for at least a little bit. Gavin von Wolfen, you who are hunting Grimgor, keep hunting him. Grimgor, you here now? You ready to fight, maybe? He is indeed, he's got a full stack. Alrighty, I guess we can level, because he might be not too scared to actually fight. And we're just gonna have to wait and see. We have 10 points available to us. Interestingly, now, we can freely skip Indomitable. Oh, right, I think we were calculating this last time, so we can go 4, 8, 9, 10. As long as we skip full plate armor and devastating charge, we would be free to get Lightning Strike. Not even for the ability to Lightning Strike, but the battle reinforcement time alone is quite useful, so... Yeah, I guess we can do that. It's not too bad. It would mean foregoing Sigmar's ward maxed out, but it is what it is. We'll go for Reassuring Presence. And I guess 1 point in... probably Iron Disciplinarian. You're not anywhere near that would be corrupt. Well, I guess you're near Skaven territories that might get corrupted. Yeah, nonetheless, Iron Disciplinarian, Irrepressible, a Lightning Strike into, I guess, Logistician for a little bit of extra healing, and then Headhunter. Quartermaster would have been nice as well, but I think we're on the verge of full sort of economic independence and or self-sufficiency, where we don't care anymore. The Curse of Anarch here needs to be maxed out. Sorcerer Shielding definitely needs to be maxed out for these guys. I do like that miscast-based chance reduction. We could do minus 15... Now we should also get the additional magics. We should probably get at least a couple points in... Well, missile resistance, definitely. In the Amber Spear, we've also been holding off on scouting, which is a bit of a shame, but there are more important things, I guess, so we'll start with untapped potential. Now, captains. You guys probably have everything, right? You do not. I thought by 40, and you would, but apparently not so much. Alright, Blade Shield for you. By the looks of it, yes. And then you. I have to get another fight going, so come on, move through this. Get your Fervor, I guess. Oh, you're the one that doesn't hit very hard. Undo, let's do Augury into Benediction, which is a nice spell resistance and a little bit of extra leadership aura. Alright, let's see if they hit Mr. Gavin. Jürgen, I guess you're gonna try to go after Village. Is he still here? No. He has run away this way. If we attack this, we could get the reinforcements out of the Monolith of whatever and probably kill them all. Although actually, by the looks of it, we could do this anyway, and it won't matter. Just kill them. Another full stack is moving on, and well, too bad for them, but villages, by the looks of it, not worth a fight. Gonna quick save because we have Warband. Oh, right, no, these... Oh, okay, we have land ships. Still took a bit of damage, but, you know, not the land ship, so we're okay. And who knows, maybe by virtue of this, those guys will actually attempt to attack us, so let's heal up just in case. Alright, and defeated village is pretty nice. Oh wow, he gets 25 wins of magic reserve capacity now, damn. He's got a really good trait. Good for him. Conjoined separated, crown of command, and go into Monolith of Ulf Daemonkin. I guess we'll auto-resolve this as well, and this guy will definitely attack us next turn. I'm just gonna hope that he doesn't besiege us, as that would be unfortunate. And I don't really want to fight these unnecessary fights, but at least, you know, baiting him into attempting to attack us is good. Also, that gave us gems, which might mean more trade opportunity. Indeed. Alright, what do we have here? Guardians of the Valley, I think... Wait. They're okay with Machrok now, right? Yeah, they are. Alright, we'll trade with Guardians of the Valley, why not?
Tell me, creature, how will negotiate?
There was another Tomb King faction that was fighting another Tomb King faction down here, but I don't remember which one of them it was, so I guess it doesn't matter all that much. Let's trade with Remas. But no other agreements, just trade. Trade with everybody. More money. Less problems, hopefully. Alrighty, and Rogliano, screw it. Hopefully Brion won't be pissed, or Carcassonne won't be pissed, simply because we are already trading with a bunch of the others, and since we've given them a bunch of stuff as well. All of those gifts should counteract all of the dislike. Alright, the rest of this is... Argolon, ready for that military axe? Ooh, and a defensive alliance, yes. I refuse to do a military alliance with them, but finally we have a second Wood Elf faction that's allied with us, other than Lorelorn. Alright, no military alliance with Durthu, of course, because he's a maniac. Alrighty, and Torgavon, ready for other stuff. Good. Oh, you're ready for an immediate military alliance. Good, yes. Thank you, Dave. Or should I say thank you, Vol?
I will see it done.
Alright, beautiful. Let's double check all the other Wood Elves then, because that should have given us more vision of them. Fear Derek.
You have been granted.
Not ready for a military alliance yet, but we are ready for other types, and we're ready for you to give us your money. Lovely. Oh, wait. Oh, they just asked for a military alliance just as soon as I clicked away, or defensive alliance as soon as I clicked away, so yes. The Wood Elves are in the fold now. And remember, every single alliance that we get gives us additional trade income. And due to that, you know, trade income technology that we have. Ambassador to the Dragon Emperor, unless I'm mistaken. Which means every one of these will make even more money for us that we can use with those materials at sea. Dwarfs won't be super happy, but, I mean, I don't really care about Karak Norn, to be perfectly honest. And Athalorn is far enough away from Karazakarak that the main Dwarfen factions shouldn't care about this either. Everybody will grumble, but they'll all grumble far enough away from each other. There we go. Alrighty, and the rest of this looks good to me. Getting there. And we are not piecing out with any of these guys unless I'm mistaken. Alright. Lovely. 80,000 gold per turn. It'll go away, or it'll be a lot less once the materials at sea is gone, but nonetheless. Alright. Now, let's get back to doing stuff. Theodric von Bulletin, we were looking to get you a fight, sir. But it looks like there won't be one at Matorka. You, Baldric, will proceed to Kypros and sit there for a turn. You cannot... No, really? Okay. I guess... Wait, is this a minor settlement? Why is this... yeah, why don't you like this army? It's got plenty of... It's got plenty of... melee troops. Do you want more melee troops? Why would you say... Okay, well, we're gonna manually fight this real quick. But generally speaking, I am very happy with that round of diplomacy. It really worked out. Ooh, I really want to check out what our trade income now is looking like after all that as well. And we'll find out in a sec. Alrighty, now, let's set everybody up real quick. Do this as a... I was about to say auto-resolve battle, but you know what I mean. Usually I set up on this hill in this particular battle, but I guess it doesn't really matter because it's such a minor fight. Anyway, let's do this. This. This, like, I don't know. Okay, I don't know why I got you guys in squares like that. I need you to guard the flanks. I need you to be in the center. Or to be the center. Maybe draw yourselves out a little bit more like so. I do expect the boar boys will be hitting us after all. You guys can position yourselves up here, and this is why I said that it would probably be better to deploy on that hill, but I'm too lazy to redo it now, so it's not happening. You guys are gonna go here, like so. We're gonna have the Free Company Militia fire through these gaps. These guys should be able to fire over the heads of some of the units, at least. Maybe even back them off slightly. And then put the Hawkland long rifles up here. In fact, we can put them in the tree line far enough away, hopefully, to where the enemy won't be able to approach them or debuff them, because they need to be... Well, actually, they don't even really need to be hidden. They just need to have no enemy unit presence in range to have their additional damage. Actually, I fear that you won't be able to fire like that. Go here, and we'll see what those boar boys do, whether they try to annoy us or not. You war wagons behind the range units so that they don't interfere, and then I guess the same thing goes for you. Everybody here, go toggle skirmish mode off. You two move forward, and I believe we are good to go. You know what? Let's make you a little bit wider. And there we go. Generally speaking, the flanks are pretty dangerous, which is why sometimes it's better to pop them in a square sort of deal. Anyway, start. And I did undo the... Yes, I did undo the... Alright, speed up to max. Hey. Alright, now we just gotta annoy the enemy a little bit until they move towards us. Alright, not annoying enough? Alright, fine. War wagon, forward. You can annoy them. You can... There we go. As soon as we move the mortar forward, they are ready to move. And they will hit us, but fortunately our barrier will ignore most of it. Gonna pop off another one of those chain lightnings and keep dropping mortar shells on the enemy. Now they're moving. Alright, you can get behind the rest of the line. Let's see where those boar boys are going. Are they going to attempt to loop around? It looks like not at this time. I actually should have probably checked whether the enemy had a pile of spider riders in their army or not, because that would have been good. Oh. Well, I guess we'll see. If the if those units get charged and heavily damaged, I guess we'll know. Mortars, fire at the enemy range units because they're the only major threat here, I believe. And we got another chain lightning ready to go, pop it on top of the range units as well. Alright, speed up to max. Chain lightning's out, slow it back down to normal. You, get ready to shatter the boar boys. Other boar boys have moved on in, but your... Yeah, the range units are fine. You, don't intercept the boar boys. You hit the boar boys as well. You can debuff them potentially. But otherwise we were okay. Range units, fire on those orc arrow boys. You can debuff them with the Averland Rune Fang. And then you can double buff the Harmonic Convergence on the swordsmen here because they are getting attacked by the enemy lord. At least while our own lord is busy dealing with these regular orc boys. Alright, you... Actually, you I would like to snipe this shaman. Okay, why are you moving forward? What the heck is wrong with you? Don't do that. I didn't tell you to move forward. Yeah, I guess. I swear I saw some of them actually shooting the shaman, but not... I don't know why they moved. Well, not that it matters. Anyway, pop a Neuronon Thunderbolt right here. These guys are pretty much dead. You can now debuff them, and then you can leave the place. Speed it back up to max. You go after the enemy lord now. And there we go. Easy little fight. That was a settlement battle, right? Oh, wow. There we go. Alright. I just want to see the enemy lord die. Yeah, auto-resolve. That was going to kill our army. I'm sure. And I get it, we're using tier 1, a lot of basic troops here. But there's some tier 3s. We got 2 great swords, we got 2 Nuln Ironsides. I don't remember if war wagons are tier 2 or 3, but just because half of our army is made up of tier 1 or 2 doesn't mean that you should, you know, that the auto-resolve should hate us so much. Since we do use this army rather statically, we could pop a cannon in here as well. Haven't been using a lot of cannons in this particular campaign, admittedly. I was going to put the Hammer of the Witches in our Sigmarite army, in Volkmar's army, but if we want to just sort of, you know, charge at the enemy in a big old blob, we could also forego the artillery. Get those Flagellants and Hammers of Sigmar, Sigmarite Disciples. And Tattersouls, I guess, into combat a little bit faster. Anyway, occupy, yes. Matorka Zaraz, hey, a nice messenger. And Scroll of Amber. Don't care for it, we'll probably ignore it. Delete this, replace it with spices, build the Council of Burgomeisters, and I guess we can at least start on the tap room and the Weaving House, because they're the basic versions of them. Anyway, that was Mr. Von Blitten. Elspeth is next. You are headed to Zenres, which means declaring war at last on the Crooked Moon. It was probably inevitable that we get into a war with them. They're currently at war with Clan Angrand. Alright, Angrand, give us all your money.
Men of the Empire. What brings you here?
2,000, not bad for a war declaration. I don't like that. Yeah, we let these guys survive, and I was hoping that the Karazakarak dwarves under Thorgrim would be dealing with them for us, but I fear that they're not doing so well. Might actually have to send an army down here. But that was always a possibility, so not a big deal. Anyway, Elspeth, grab Zenris. And then we can keep moving the heroes to join you. Frankly, they're mostly going to be following you at least for a while, because you can't... Well, actually, one of them can join, but otherwise you won't have space. Resolve. Okay, it doesn't kill the war wagons. Occupy. Alright, and the need for Zenris, but actually in reality more so Vitrol, is to trade them this so that we can trade them Karazakarak. I once again do wish that we didn't have to go through such lengths to actually trade them their capital, but, you know, nature of the game and all that. Anyway, and go here. Keep following. You know what, since you've reached Elspeth first, I guess you get the,
I have faster ways to track.
There you go, I guess you can join the army first. Ooh, but you will slow the army down a little bit. So we'll level you up now, at least with 1 point, to make sure that you activate your increased mobility rather than the other guy. Though you only have 2 points anyway. I guess we'll do Apprentice Marksman. I doubt that we'll ever put it to any use, but why not? The rest of this is rather useless. Anyway, let's see what else we have. Governor doesn't need to move for obvious reasons. Philip Ivan. Well, now that you're going down here, you may as well head all the way over to Altdorf. The recruiters are going to be sitting still for a couple of turns while we deal with materials at sea and kicking up our economy for the rest of the campaign, essentially. I would, however, still like to do those 2 additional tanks as soon as we have the capacity to build both. Lightdorf, you are headed towards Mount Gunbad, which is the enemy's capital. Oh, hello! We got ourselves a fight. Wait, stop moving. We're gonna level... What? He was in range, right? And then he stopped being in range? Well, he's still in range now, but he's just not available in trenches. I guess I shouldn't have stopped him. Oh well, I just want to make sure that we pop the levels in. Now, you have... I mean, I was going to reset him anyway, so I guess we can still get Artillery Master. You have no cav to take advantage of, so you're just going to have to deal with what you've got. We want to level you up in any way? Mighty Forge would help the war wagons, of which you have 2, but if we're going to reset you potentially... In fact, no potentially about it, we will reset you. Just because his skills are useless. Like, we have leading the charge with no cavalry to benefit from it, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, get Sigmar's award and Mark of Hish. Frankly, Mark of Hish is probably not useful against the rats. But nonetheless... Alright, let's see if we can win this. It should be a pretty solid bunch of rats. Alright, let's see what we got here. Valiant defeat, casualties high, 3 stacks, 2 full stacks of Skaven saves with lots and lots of artillery and elites out of that garrison, which is what's going to make this battle very interesting. Most definitely go. Alrighty, here we go. The Mad Count Marius Lightdorf is perhaps the only one out of our armies mad enough to take this force in particular against 3 stacks of Skaven, 2 full stacks of Skaven slaves on top of an elite main garrison stack, and this is probably the weakest army that we have. It has no mage and just Marius, no other heroes either to buff up our basic Imperial State troops. 65 armor on the halberdiers, no armorer's pedigree, giving them additional speed or armor, and obviously no captains armoring them up or buffing anybody, so, well, we'll see if we can manage to pull this off. I genuinely am not sure. It's a little bit iffy, admittedly. And plus, of course, our entire army is made up of tier 1 and 2 troops, with the exception of only 2 units. The 2 units of Grand Cauldron regulars. Anyway, I'm going to start the battle off. Vanguard deployed with our units of huntsmen who are currently busily firing away at this unit of poison wind mortars. Definitely don't want them tearing through our relatively weak halberdiers. Not that halberdiers are to be underestimated, mind you, but you know, poison winds a few volleys and halberdiers no more. Anyway, we're going to lead the charge with the ogres, as one does. Take advantage of that ogre charge and not only try to get deep into the enemy formation, but also try to rush through them and hopefully get to those Skaven slave slingers behind the main line. Hopefully this army does not have enough damage output to be a real threat to the ogres, but I guess we're going to find out. There we go, certainly making use of that mass. And we got to see that animation again. Lovely. Oh, huh. I didn't know that he finished him off with a sword strike to the back, too. Nice. Saw the full thing this time. Anyway, the ogres are in. Going to be a bit of a preview of what this army will eventually function like, if it should survive, as we'll want to get plenty more ogres in here. I'm envisioning like 9 ogre units. We can combine 4 Grand Cauldron regulars, maybe, with like 5 units of borrowed weaker ogres, and then combine them with a pile of crossbows. Because I wanted a little bit of a crossbow-heavy army that isn't the Stir River Patrol, just the basic crossbows. I think it'll be a neat one. And certainly not any similar to any armies I did last time I played Karl, so yeah, and it's already working decently well as it currently is, and that it remains alive, having fought a decent amount of battles. Anyway, Lightdorf has nearly cleared out the first enemy stack. It looks like it's in pretty bad shape, though there's a few annoyances, like this assassin that has moved back towards our mortars, and the enemy reinforcements have arrived. We have to make sure to give chase to the enemy, and the idea here is going to be to take advantage, or to attempt to take advantage of the fact that the enemy reinforcements are going to be limited in number. One of those stacks will be of elites, and then the second stack will be of non-elites, meaning that we want not all 40 of the reinforcements to be on the map at once. The idea thus is to make sure that enemy units here maybe shatter, or maybe even just rout, as long as the weaker units like Skaven slaves are on the field and the enemy is limited in the numbers and that they can pump out onto, once again, the field. I mean, it does feel like it's slightly taking advantage of the mechanical limitation of the 40 units on the field at once, but I don't know. At the same time, it does feel somewhat appropriate. Who knows? I suppose you can only cram so many units onto a portion of a battlefield at once, I guess. Nonetheless, anyway, that's what we're doing. Enemy's reinforcements are about... Actually, it looks like it didn't quite work out anyway. We were able to at least keep a decent amount of enemy units on field by not, well, obliterating them, as in stopping to chase, but... It looks like the second Skaven slave stack moved onto the field first, with only a couple of the elite units and making their way forward, which is bad. I was hoping that they would be essentially mixed together, but unfortunately not. As in, so we wouldn't have to face as many elites at once, but it looks like we will after we kill all of these Skaven slaves and the limited number of other units that we have here. Anyway, big old pile of rats moving towards us. Skaven slaves mixed with a few plague monks and such. We're going to try to target those plague monks with arrows and bolts from our range units. Try to do as much damage to them as we can, while our mortar tries to lob shells into the biggest concentration of units that it can find. Our halberdiers have reformed, and our Grand Cauldron regulars and man-eaters have arrived as well to once again join the fray against the piles of ratlings. And just ahead of the halberdiers, or otherwise providing them additional mass, but hopefully breaking the charge of the rats on the less fragile ogres. They have been working pretty darn nicely in our Norscan army, and I want to see in a very ogre-focused army here. I mean, if we wanted to, we could essentially keep pumping out man-eaters until we got basically a full ogre stack, if we really wanted to. Honestly, if we had more ogre allies, I'd probably do several different types of ogre stacks, with allegiance units combining with Grand Cauldron regulars and a few of our own units, like artillery and stuff, and mixed in as supports. Unfortunately, the Ironskins are currently our only ogrish ally, as Goldtooth continues to refuse any kind of alliance with us. which is a shame and surprising. I guess we did fight with one of his allies for a while, but anyway. In that he's allied with Clan Gouger, the Skaven. But hopefully we'll get him eventually. Frankly, funnily enough, we could have allied with Scrag the Slaughterer at this point several times, but considering the fact that he is fighting the Lizardmen and is friendly with a bunch of factions that are hated by a bunch of our allies, probably isn't a good idea. Anyway, the biggest blob of the enemy, well, essentially the main blob of the enemy, continues to fight in the center, and, well, we continue to hold them off. Trying to do decent work with our war wagons as well, which are sniping critical targets, like that Warlock engineer back there. We should be having a pretty bad day against these guys. They're not as buffed as they would be in other armies, but they're still going to be fantastic at sniping. Marius Leitdorf has still been doing pretty good as well, and he's up to 235 kills. And just making good use of that Griffin through the piles of enemy units. That said, more and more reinforcements are arriving on the field, and it's the elites now. So we got Storm Vermin coming in, Warp Fire Throwers, we got Plague Monk Censer Bearers, we've got Death Globes and Poison Winds, and 4 artillery pieces, as well as a Doom Wheel and a Hell Pit Abomination. And of course, after our units are doubtless tired at this point from all this fighting. Skaven do like to make use of that strategy, similar to the Undead, where you send in piles of chaff at the enemy to tire them out, and only then send the elites in and to obliterate them. And it's a sensible strategy with both factions. Alright, well, the enemy keep moving in, and there we go. Now that the elites are on field, we can see that the balance of power went from 70% in our favor to 70% in the enemy's favor, and I guess it's about to get a little bit ugly. The Censer Bearers have shed about 20% of their HP so far, under 5 from the mortars and at least a few of our range units, and it does look like we're also starting to get a little bit overrun. Our war wagons are essentially hanging out on the flank, working on sniping away at the Poison Winds and Hell Pit and Doom Wheel and Death Globes, and I do believe they have just sent the Doom Wheel running off. It charged them, and they volleyed at it enough that it ran away. Was not destroyed, unfortunately, but, well, what can you do? Other than that, it looks like we've taken the first few shots against the Globadiers and Bombardiers. And we're just going to have to keep that up, as well as target the Abomination where we can. Basically, all these super threatening units. Admittedly, the Abomination is likely less threatening than the Poison Winds and Death Globes, and is also a lot less fragile, so we're not going to commit the resources to bring it down until those guys are a lot less of a threat as well. And it looks like we started to take some severe damage on at least a few units. Crossbows just took about 50% of their HP, and as did the Huntsman. One of our Halberdiers has nearly been wiped out in their fight with the Plague Monk Censer Bearers, which admittedly is not surprising at all. Censer Bearers are very solid units, at least in terms of damage dealing. And they managed to nearly kill off this unit of halberds while being pincushioned by several of our range units as well. Which again is not super surprising. Now that the enemy reinforcements have arrived, and specifically the artillery have arrived, we have to, we can't just leave them there. So, all of our ogres are going to charge through the main enemy line. We got a single unit of halberdiers following. Got to make sure neither those warp fire throwers nor those catapults fire for too much longer. The Hell Pit Abomination is the new target for our units of war wagons. And it looks like one more volley will at last bring the big boy down. If you're wondering why I decided to switch now to the Hell Pit Abomination, it's because unlike being not as big of a threat to the halberdiers, in that it would take it a while to bring them down, every hit from an Abomination would most likely bring an Ogre unit down, and they're too critical to this particular battle in order to allow them to do that. Anyway, it looks like just barely, but we do manage to pull it off. Severe damage on some bunch of units, including these Ogre Bulls, but hey, they got plenty of kills for themselves while they did. And good job to everybody, and I'm kind of impressed that Marius managed to pull this off. Good job, fella. Ooh, alrighty, there we go. A heroic victory, but also most definitely a close one, as we were looking to be taking a lot of damage there, and we were coming close to being overrun. Nonetheless, the Mad Count, Marius Leitdorf, managed to carry the day with his ogres and his halberds and whatever else. He had tons of kills on basically every single unit in here, but the ogres were absolutely instrumental to the victory, and that's why Marius is going to be getting more ogres for his Mootland army, I guess. Anyway, the first army was in March Stand, so it will get destroyed. This one we did decent damage to in terms of knocking out the Helpit. Just got the Helpit died, but the Doom Wheel got away, and so did the weapons teams and the Plague Claws. Unfortunately, this army is not capable of really chasing anything down, much less chasing down Skavens. So what can you do? We're definitely going to praise Sigmar and heal up. And are we able to besiege the place now? We are. Beautiful. We will begin constructing siege equipment. I'm going to hope that they'll sally out next turn, but, well, we'll prepare for the attack. I wonder... Nope. I was about to say, I wonder whether these guys will come in and help. Really, they're not even going to go and attack this. They're... he's just AI. I always refuse to do anything even remotely helpful. But yeah, that was really fun. That might have been one of my favorite fights in the entire campaign so far, though we've had plenty of good ones. I guess you'll want to actually get Scarred Vet now. Buff yourself up. And you know what? I think you've earned some items for yourself. We should have a spare healing potion, unless I'm mistaken. Huh. Ogre Blades. You know what? Let's keep the Ogre Blades for this army. We'll give the 2 Ogre Blades to the 2 Empire captains that are going to be in here, because, well, we got Ogres in the army, but not for you. Is there something... like a big old blade that we get here? Oh, I wish the Executioner's Axe didn't provide Executor. It ruins the weapon. We're going to have to transform it into something else. Technically speaking, you don't have a Rune Fang. What do we have to spare? We still have Dragon's Tooth, Dragon Tooth, but I was going to give the Reikland Rune Fang to the Reiksguard. A Bloodbringer is the Vissenland Rune Fang, and the speed reduction is warranted for a ranged army. So really we only have Deathsinger, which is great. I guess we can hold on to it for now, but we'll have to probably swap that out to somebody else, I figure. Gelt doesn't actually have a weapon, so we could give Gelt Regeneration and Frenzy and Deathblow if we really wanted to. No spare Armors of Fortune, alas. Oh, I do have 2 additional Speculums we can give to somebody. I'll get the Enchanted Shield for now, just for a little bit of extra stats, as we don't have much options. Dawnstone is kind of meh here. We can, I guess, use a Luckstone, but I'd rather pop the Luckstones into, come on, a Deepwood Branch. Oh, that's the worst one, damn. Okay, you can have a Potion of Toughness, but anyway, I was hoping that it would be a Talisman of Endurance. But oh well, can't have everything. Also, we can fuse these 2 into, what do we get out of that? A Forbidden Rod. Alright, so that warrants another Mage of the... Life Healer variety, which is already in this army. Getting ready to move on into that army. Actually, speaking of this army, do we have another Empire Captain that's a champion? We do have the Ogre Bulls here. I guess you're going to move towards Marius right now. Just to deliver whatever you can. You don't have to deliver everything. And we'll get him a couple more of those Grand Cauldron regulars. We're also keeping the crossbows in this army, because I wanted have a unit that has an arcing shot and thus are able to arc over the heads of the Ogre Bulls, in combination with some mortars, maybe Sutsun's guns in particular, but I'll think about it. Either way, since the crossbows are going to stay, they can be named. A Boltfall. And you can be Ostland Bolters. There we go, I'd like at least 2 of those. I still haven't fully decided what we're going to do in that army, or with that army, but we'll figure it out as we go along. A really fun fight. Anyway, you don't need to recruit. I mean, you do. A lot of everybody needs to recruit, but we're not doing it right now. Aldebrand, kind of in the same situation. Baldric, yes. Alrighty, so you... Oh, I had started to move you to Kypria, and then apparently I stopped. Come on, Ruinous, what are you doing, man? Alrighty, what about Von Kessel? Okay, he really needs to heal, so you're gonna go into Empire and camp, or just in camp in general, and then move this way. And we'll see whether you guys can intercept. We'll figure that out. It's annoying that the enemy is looking to bypass our armies, but I am not surprised. It's lore accurate. It's kind of the issue with dealing with Norska and stuff anyway. Krazakrak, okay, not ready to give us more gyrocopters. You're fine, at least because we're not recruiting right now. Recruiter Olden, you... Oh, you got 2 more of these guys. 3 more of these guys. Alright, looking good. How many more turns until Wolfheart? 3 more turns. Well, Bellicor's still running around. His army is kind of weak, but frankly, so is our army. Oh, do we... Yes, we'll construct the other Wildwood Ranger in here. Alright, that's a little bit better. I don't think we want any of these in here, although the Hellblaster volley gun might help with this army. Get it a little bit more mobile, but obviously we don't need to do it right now. We should probably have at least some more wagons in here, and I think that's going to be the Wissenberg's Welcomers, because we're going to have plenty of anti-large between these guys and whatever else, the Wildwood Rangers. Our anti-large will need to be able to explode some units, and I think Yorick Grim will just plain enjoy that. We gotta get him some Dwarfen units and some Bretonians in here as well, but I will deal with that later.
Huntsman General.
Funnily enough, we could... Oh. Huh. We could use the Grey Mountain Band because they're halberds instead of halberdiers, can't we? And they would fill the role of the Bretonians in this army. I don't dislike that, plus they're also super cheap. Go for it, why not? Alright, and then this is going to take 2 turns and we'll be 1 turn away. Oh, you know what? We can actually have you do this. Cancel this. You... Damn it. Didn't mean to do that. Let's go to Lorelorn, let's build the Wildwood Rangers, and then Nicholas Shielder. I'm going to carefully approach Black Bog here.
Leave no one behind.
Like so. Yeah, that's why I said carefully. Nope, you're not fighting until Wolfheart is back. Never mind. Stay out there. Alright, I guess I could grab that island next turn, and maybe this island, and maybe some of these islands. There's lots of islands around, who knows? There could be another materials at sea out there. Anyway, who was next after everybody here? Beckberg, or your recruiter? Oh, I already went through you, my bad. Who's next then? Recruiter? Land Admiral? No. Valmir? No. Okay, I went through you guys as well. Okay, that was Nicholas Shooter. No, I just have Tech Thieves. Alright, Tech Thief 1. And... I would pay them money just... I mean, okay, I would give them something just to make the list stop resetting itself like that every time you do something, because it's really annoying in the mid to late game. Or at least, I wonder if there's a mod that sort of bypasses that behavior. It would be lovely. Anyway, we got buildings to be building now, and once again we do have to make good use of all of that cash and the materials. Let's see, did I move? Okay, I moved you. Were we not delivering some stuff as well? Did we move the guys that were delivering stuff? So that was you and that was you. Okay, I did. Good job, mate. I'm kind of impressed. Anyway, let's see. Let's start building. So you... Yes. Yes, money. We... don't really need the landed estate, so we're going to delete or ignore that. And how many turns is it going to take to level you up? Probably a bit. Well, I'm just going to have to keep on waiting. At least we have this province. Actually, it's going to bother me that Montfort... Well, if we have Gissoho and we have Paravant, we might actually want Montfort because it's kind of between the two. Oh, actually, this is going to bother me even more. But there's no way these guys give us Drakenfels and Hellspire for anything, is there? I wonder how much Bears of Quilo will be worth to them. We'll see. Because these things would actually have adjacency bonuses to the nearby territories, and they are now in between all of our territories. We've taken the contiguity of their empire. Okay, well, we'll see. Whether it's possible or not, I mean. Anyway, Black Mounds, again, you are going to be traded. Dragonback, traded. Zenres, possibly traded, I'm not entirely sure, so don't bother building anything. Keep it nice and cheap. Grom Ridge, similar situation. Zandri Road, Granty Mingle. Oh, right. You guys. Granty Mingle. Yes, give us your 12,000. Hopefully this doesn't get you killed, but we need your money.
Good.
I mean, we killed Wurzag for them, and we got their capital back for them, right? Right? I shouldn't feel bad about taking their cash. At least I think so. Anyway, let's see. Citadel of Myrmidia. I guess we could upgrade you. Again, it's never gonna get cheaper. Alright. Bit of a necessary or unnecessary investiture, depending on how you look at it. At least all of these investments are relatively cheap, so we don't have to be too concerned. But anyway, about the money being wasted, I mean. Gromridge. I swear I took a look at you, Gromridge. It reset again, didn't it? Huh. Why does it do that? Oh, it's because I guess we gave that settlement up. I guess it did it twice. So yeah, we checked Gisoro, and it completely reset the order. Game, why do you do this? Why do you have to make this complicated? Alright, well, I'm just going to go through the list again, because I have no idea what we've done and what we haven't done. Alright, Bordello, good. Aldium, still going to be traded, so you're fine. Agrildrin, Karakangazar, you're fine. Black Mounds, I remember checking you already. Axbite Pass. I'd love to upgrade you, but it's kind of not worth it, so we'll ignore you for now. Leblia will be traded. Lair of the Troll King will be traded. Brovska, finally. Somewhere that we can build stuff for ourselves, and not somebody else. In fact, well, it is plus 17, but that's only because we're... Yeah, alright, I'll just leave it. I was wondering whether we should start collecting income there, but I think not, at least not at the moment. Stinking Geysers. I guess you can still build the Weaving House, though I don't know whether we'll actually be collecting income here. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Oh, furs, most definitely. Yes to the upgrade, yes to the Weaving House, and I guess yes to the Engineer's Workshop. Might as well upgrade it. Griffinwood, never gonna get cheaper to build anything there. Paravon, yes, obviously, to upgrade the toll gates, but do it next turn. Word of Frost. We will switch you to Council of Burgomeisters and upgrade you next turn. Word of Storm, again, you're going to be in the same situation. Whether we trade you or not, we might as well make use of the fact that we can upgrade you reasonably cheaply. We might be able to get the guy that allows us to build cheaper buildings here. So we might be able to reduce the costs of tumble downs, so we'll ignore it for now. Marble Massif, yes to the upgrade. Myrmidus Coast, we will be trading. Newland. I mean, we could build a foundry here. But at the same time, let's hold off. Let's go for the Tailor's Guild here, which is surprisingly expensive in the /scratch deep. Oh, I guess it is only... Is that the only thing that we need to upgrade here? It'll be a while until you're tier 5, meaning you can actually go into... I guess it was Festag. Gold Plain. Yes to the exotic hothouse, most definitely. Same thing for you. Double up on those, or alchemy workshops. And... it's going to be expensive. 5.2k. No, not worth it. And you're at 4.8k. If we can get the reducer guy here, maybe we'll reduce those, but if we can't, we can't. Not the biggest of deals. And oh, these places are also a little bit more expensive than I'd like, because we don't have the thing here. The full province, but whatever. We'll at least build the cheaper temple. And we might hold off on the rest. There's a lot of other stuff to upgrade after all, and some of it's going to be very expensive. Probably don't need the... oh, actually, you don't need a tavern at all. You can have a minor god temple. We can have the tavern here. What am I doing? Alrighty, you will definitely want the minor gods temple. 3,000 and 3,000. And I guess we'll upgrade the tap rooms. And yes, we could swap out the tap rooms for military structures, but for capacities. But we'll see if we actually need them. Our capacities have been doing fine for a little while now, so I'm not, it's not the biggest of deals. Let's go for the Engineer's Workshop, and definitely the Mage Hut. You are going to be replaced now. You can be placed there instead, because we still need the public order. Northern Marches. What do we have here? Yes to the cattle ranch. No to the military rally field at Bose. Oh, well, actually, I can keep it. Well... actually, no, you know what? I'll replace it with the public order building, and then if we need to replace it, we'll replace it. Let's go for the foundry, let's go for the wizard campus, let's go for the public order. Schramleben, yes to the city, yes to the public order, yes to the Temple of the Minor Gods, or Common Temple, and Common Temple for you as well as a public order building. Beautiful. Alright. Tavern, money, 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 tavern. And I guess we could still do temples of the minor gods here. Common temples, you know what I mean. Castle Drakenhof, might as well max you out, or as close as we can get to doing so. Ooh, final tier Wizard's Tower, final tier Menagerie, Coaching Inn. Let's upgrade Schwarzhofen first, and then Lichberg afterwards. It's a tier 5 already, very nice. Haunted Hills. Girden, no. You're going to get replaced and be built here, so we could do a minor temple and a minor temple here. Ha, I said it right that time. And you thought I couldn't. Next, we've got the Common Temple here, South Ostland. We've got the Tannery there. Imperial Harbor. Ooh, this is a lot of good upgrades. And let's do the 3 Common Temples. Common Temple 1, Common Temple 2, Common Temple for me and for you. Alright. And I believe that's it. Everybody has a Tailor's Guild or a Common Temple or something, and we are alas out of cash. More Common Temples next turn, I guess. Alright, and we didn't quite reach the end of the list, but we are nearing it, which I do appreciate. Alright, let's see what these guys do this next turn, I guess. And I assume that there's nothing else that we can or want to trade. Oh, I did not check how much Deravan Libra is worth to you. 77? Wait. So you would trade Fort Bergbray for that, wouldn't you? Huh. Why is it worth... Oh, huh. It can have 3 military structures, but Silent Isle and Tourist Vigilance will not be able to, so this might actually become eventually more worth it. On the other hand, it's unlikely that they would trade it for Gisoro. And we have to find something to trade for Gisoro, so it probably will have to be Mousillon, which we can't do right now. I'm pretty sure, because we can't give stuff across the river. Meaning, it'll have to be, once again, either Grungzint, which I think they won't do either.
Welcome, friends. What do the men of the hammer
Just want the full
require?
province game, come on. Castle Gisoro... Yeah, 21. It's close to it, but not quite there. So then we'd have to trade this territory or another territory in order to trade them Uremi, in order to trade them Rashar and Castle Mousillon. But it is what it is, gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, well, we can't do that now, but what we can do right now is end the turn, so we're gonna. Let's see if those rats attack us again, and whether they... and whether Lightdorf gets to live another day. Oh, wait. How did I move everybody but didn't move... Oh, I did move Dolphy just out of range. Alright, he's fine. Oh, Grimgor will indeed attack Gavin. I kind of was not expecting that, but I am pleasantly surprised, though bringing down Grimgor himself, I'm sure, will be something of an issue. Now, in theory, this episode has certainly gone long, but because we had so much admin, and I feel bad, we should do this battle, yeah. Alright, the Grandmasters are silent every damn time. Anyway, the Grandmaster and the Drekvold riders are hidden in the trees while we begin attacking the enemy army. How our huntsmen, as usual, have Vanguard deployed and are going to try to hunt down those snotling pump wagons as their priority target. I have a very healthy fear of the pump wagons, as they are pretty OP units, and their fragility means that they're the optimal target here, at least in my opinion. Gonna get a few volleys up and then start moving back towards our lines, or specifically towards the engagement range of the Gunderman's Surefires, which will provide fire support, slow the enemy down, and hopefully knock out those pump wagons for good. We've also moved in our flyer. I'm going to pop off that Kettle's Call, as well as get our Griffin attacking. Looks like we take a charge immediately, and unfortunately the Kettle Call units are super fragile, so a single charge, they lose about half of their HP, and it looks like they have already broken. And let's see, we were able to do, what? About 45% damage to the Snagless Death Thrower. Still alive, unfortunately, just going to have to deal with it. Now, it looks like our first unit of Huntsmen does get charged, but fortunately the Drakvald Riders are there to meet the enemy in battle relatively fast. The tiny little Goblin Wolf Riders look tiny by comparison. And while they are very fast, the Strider effect on these Drakvald Riders really does help them out, and they do move pretty fast as well at 84 speed. Grimgor, of course, continuing to march toward us. We're going to try to get a few volleys off on him with our Gunderman's Surefires and whatever other unit can hit him with range, because as soon as he's in melee, we're going to have a very tough time at dealing with him and bringing him down. Before buffs, without any buffs whatsoever, he has 102 melee attack and 935 weapon strength. And I don't know what level it is, but I imagine it's not... No, it's 29. And it's pretty good. And there we go, he activates Get Back here. Why did his weapon strength rise by 1.1 to 1.1k? Well, I'm not sure, probably something is active, and he's going to wade into combat, whatever Drakvald oh wow, he's towers over knights. Yeah, that's not so great, and what is also not so great is that our Empire Captains and our Warrior Priests will have to deal with him, or at least try to. Good luck to them. Otherwise, our Grand Master has led the charge of the Drakvald Riders into the enemy back lines. While the enemy army is pretty highly mobile, so are we, or at least so are those elements of our army. And we should be able to run down any enemy range units that are left unprotected. And there we go, another Wolf Raider unit gets destroyed, and it looks like we're going to get ready to follow once again, or move once again towards that Snagless and Death Thrower, obviously all the while dropping spells with our wizard, primarily Flock of Doom spam, but the occasional armor via Visen's wild form ain't too bad either. Anyway, Grimgor is still in the center of this formation somewhere. There he is, and he's completely unharmed, but he has taken about half HP off one Empire Captain, half HP off the other, and I think all of the damage he's taken so far has been from gunfire. Unfortunately for him, the battle is starting to turn in our favor, as over in the back lines, and the enemy's getting crushed. And they are hitting back with that itchy nuisance, so that minus 35 melee attack is not so great for the Drakvald Riders. But it looks like their artillery will be silenced, and while the reinforcements have arrived, they might be just that little bit too late. Going to move all of our Empire Captains and our Warrior Priest away from where Grimgor is, and in fact march the Halberdiers away from him as well. While we only have, well, maybe not only, while we have several units that have slow, Grimgor can be slowed down to a mere 3 speed, and this is by far the best way of dealing with him. There we go. All that fighting made our Empire Captains look weak and pathetic in melee combat compared to Grimgor, but you know, what wouldn't? But as soon as they moved away, he was gunned down, and with his fall, the rest of his force loses heart, and the battle is ours. Fantastic. Alrighty, that went pretty darn well. We got lots of use out of our cavalry, which kept the piles of regiments of renown and just generally mobile and range units very busy. Our own range units, though relatively limited in numbers in this particular battle, again are joined by those officer squads, and 2 officer squads and 2 Gunderman's Surefires is a significant amount of slow when you need it. That worked pretty well. And of course, all those anti-large arrows from the Huntsman. A lovely fight. Alright, there we go. Very nice work by Gavin. They're not quite complete destruction for Grimgor's army, but very close to it. And everybody did well. 417 on one of the Drakvald Riders in terms of kill count, and 34,000 kills on another. Franz's Forks and Sigmar's Toothpicks, both in the center of the formation, got more damage than looks like every other of the melee units. I mean, partly. It's because they're in the center, so admittedly. But anyway, also the halbards and Drekvold Watchers are other units of halbards that are in the army. The 2 Gundermans, one of them especially, with 228 kills and 27,000 damage. And decent work out of these two. Both of the Empire captains tried to, poke at Grimgor a couple of times, but both lost half of their HP and did basically nothing to him. The best way to deal with him is just to gun him down in the way that we ended up doing, unless you have somebody like Karl to deal with him. So it is what it is. It still works. We will pardon the captives for the money. I honestly forgot about this one. Now, we really don't have time to fight this one. Man, I was hoping to end the turn so I could do the admin of at least one turn between the episodes, because we got a few more materials at sea. Do we do a super long episode today? Screw it, fine. Let's fight this one. Hopefully that'll be the last of the battles. Plus, it is Volkmar's first fight, and it looks pretty darn fun, don't it? Let's do it.
Sons of Sigmar, to me! Purge this place and strike down any who dare to rise again. Not for my honor.
Alrighty, here we go. Volkmar the Grim, Caped Baldy himself, and his debut battle has come at last. And with, only 2/3 of his army ready to go. Can we pull this off? I guess we're about to find out. Should be pretty interesting. I do love all the buffs given to Free Company, as well as the flagellants, and we're certainly going to put it all to good use. Wayfarer on these guys gives them 56 speed as well as Strider, and a pretty solid melee attack, melee defense, and missile strength stats. Not as highly armored as Nordland Mariners, of course, but I wanted the Vanguard deploying units in this army in particular. Of course, this is also the debut, I guess, battle of the Knights of the Everlasting Light, who do look pretty darn nice. Frankly, with their color scheme being yellow and blue, they could actually fit in nicely with an Ulricite army. Their color scheme actually works better with Ulric's stuff than the Knights of the White Wolf. Go figure. There we go. Very nice charge as Volkmar leads his knights ahead, way ahead of the rest of the force, to charge through the Skaven ranks and into their back lines, smashing through the infantry and into those Plague Claw catapults in order to silence them. Volkmar on his War Altar of Sigmar. Interesting that they gave us the War Altar of Sigmar, but no War Altar of Ulrich, and, well, I guess no War Altars in general as separate units. But anyway, here, oh wow, look at those flagellants. They charge in pretty fast now and have joined the fray. Of course, Volkmar is going to repeatedly use his Grand Soulfire and whatever else. Now, while the flagellants keep all those rats busy, our Free Companies have arrived and begin melting enemies away with their fire support. Of course, with only 20 missile damage, they're not going to be doing this very quickly. And I do have to wonder whether they would be more effective in melee, considering their bonuses and stats, especially against things like clan rats. But here, I guess we've kept enough of the enemy busy for them to be acting as range fire support instead. Another nice charge from the Knights of the Everlasting Light, which are charging around in the background. I saw that Warp Lightning come in from the enemy Doom Wheel, which is charging through our forces right now, but taking a fair bit of damage from the missile fire as well. Another Grand Soulfire comes down in the midst of the enemy. And another very nice charge from those Knights of the Everlasting Light. Man, I started with Stubborn Bulls, and then I felt that maybe we should do Knights of War with Volkmar, and now I'm thinking maybe we should do Knights of the Everlasting Light instead, because they also have glowing lances. I don't know. It all works. I guess it doesn't really matter over much. Anyway, it looks like the Flagellants have actually defeated the Hell Pit Abomination, at least with a little bit of help from the gunfire of those pistol wielders. And now it's a matter of time, as with the defeat of the enemy elites, the enemy units, or the enemy army is having a pretty bad time. What the heck is Volkmar doing? Oh, he was targeting the enemy warlord and is doing the thing where you're too fast and you circle enemies. Yeah, I guess that's an issue. He has 79 speed as well as a strider, so he's pretty darn quick. I mean, the mass is okay on him, but I guess it's not enough to actually act that well as a chariot. Maybe it is. We'll see. Next battle with him, we're going to try to use him as a chariot. See how well he can push through enemies and charge like that. His charge bonus isn't horrible either. Should be an interesting aspect of it. Anyway, a really nice fight and debut for Volkmar the Grim. Can't wait to see what his army looks like when it's finalized and how well it can do against Manfred and the Black Pyramid and whatever else is down there. Alright, I gotta say that that went considerably better than I thought it would. The Knights of the Everlasting Light may be a cursed order, but their glorious charge to the Skaven ranks led the Flagellants and the Free Company to victory, essentially, with a little bit of help from Volkmar, as he got 40,000 damage, and, well, 188 kills isn't anything crazy for Skaven, admittedly. Too bad we can't pop a Rune of Spite on him. But oh well. Well done to Mr. Caped Baldy here. Anyway, the enemy army is still around. Hopefully the auto-resolve won't forcibly kill all of our flagellants off of that, but I guess we'll see next turn. Alright, migration. No, I'd love to, but no. I can't deal with the control while we keep confederating, so be gone. Next one, I think, we will be able to take the Fealty Vol Electric counts +1 as well, and... actually, have we read this one? The Elector Counts have started discussions about new decrees that will reduce the amount of power they wield as a group across the Empire, while also increasing the autonomy of each of their states. It is essentially a step towards political decentralization, with those who oppose the planned decrees even going so far as to say that it may be the beginning of the end of the Great Union of the Empire. Putting your political efforts into preventing the decrees may be the best thing to do for the Empire, but you must be tactful in how you proceed with addressing such highly charged and important issue. A true emperor must not only learn to appease their people, but lead them to a stronger future also. Propose alternate decree. Alrighty. There we go. Hide Striker for Gavin, Courageous, a new regional power, Disciples of the Maw. Interesting. Might actually have to get into a big war with an Ogre faction, which I wasn't expecting, but interesting to see. Rangers Cover gives plus 10% range now. Well, you know who needs it? The guy that has the... I guess this is for Ivan. You don't need that either. Recruiter Van Gru. You definitely don't need that tank. Settlement Besieged, Monolith of whatever. Did I forget to fight this? Oh, I thought that these guys would attack us immediately, but instead... Okay, well, we'll deal with them next time. And Mine's Muddled. Volkmar? But why? Okay, well, I guess it is Village continuing to be annoying. Krakadrak has fallen, unfortunately, but it was always going to happen. Kalara has returned. Ooh, just take a quick look at her. I just want to see what she does, if anything, faction-wide. Ready for duty, Colt Thorpe's. Good for him. Technology researched. Good. More missile troop strength. Now, you go for... Arrow of Kurnus, campaign movement range, great. Sight beyond sight buffs everybody. Cleanse the forest, so you don't do anything for... I just want to see if she does anything specifically for Wood Elf units. And because if it's for something, if it's something very specific, like range Wood Elf units, then we would need... Oh, I don't see anything. Alrighty, well, if there's nothing... Yeah, no faction-wide anythings, no... Yeah, alright. That's fine then. You can pop into the army.
We hunt our enemies.
Alright, all the heroes are up, and it's only a matter of time until Volky is up himself. Volkmar. Until Wolfheart, I keep confusing the two for some reason, is up and running as well. Anyways, I was starting to say Baldric Stroam, you're the only one who is going to use Ranger's Quiver, because you're using Forest Cloak as your our Hochland leader, and who else would? Alright, Ranger's Quiver, that completes the set. It's a relatively garbage physical resistance 10% during forest battles. I don't know why they make this set so terrible, but you know, I guess some sets have to be terrible. You know, it's such a specific, like such a super specific buff that I feel like it should be stronger, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to do a niche buff that only applies in like 5% of battles, it should be a pretty strong one. But anyway, I believe with that we are out of time. This episode has gone super long, but again, I wanted to do a few extra battles rather than leave you guys in all the admin. Speaking of all the admin, I will do 1 turn's worth of building between the episodes. When we come back, we'll do the fighting, the moving, and then, well, whatever else we may. So stay tuned for more Karl. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to the threshold, as we are starting to dip below it to last, or at least looking like we're gonna. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.